It's the Orioles on Masson as the O's will conclude their homestand and a 4-game set against the White Sox with this ball game tonight, and a chance to make it 3-1 against a division-leading team that's got 63 wins on the year. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. For the Orioles, the month of August has been very kind, and they have been very kind to it. Every aspect of the ball game has improved for this O's ball club, none more so than the starting pitchers, and that always makes the difference. In the month of August, for Jeremy Guthrie, 2-0, 2.4 ERA. Brian Mattis, Jake Arrieta, Ferguson, and Millwood, even those without the wins, have pitched well enough to get wins, and look at those ERAs. I mean, those are above and beyond anything that those pitchers have had any other part of this season. Jim Palmer, they have really gotten the job done as starters.
Yeah, they really have, and they've done it. They've walked 9 in their last 7 starts, so they're throwing a lot of strikes. Adam Jones was saying, it's easy to play defense, and we've seen that not only from Adam when you're throwing strikes. So they're doing that. They're confident. And again, they've done that against a White Sox team that came in at 39-13, are now 39-15. Look at what the White Sox over the year. They were come in their last 53 games. They were hitting .333. So they kept that number down. The Orioles' numbers are going up. So when you score runs, when you play good defense, and you get good starting pitching, you're going to win a lot of ball games, and that's exactly what's happened on this homestand.
And last night was another one of those examples. You take a look at what the Orioles did early in the ball game that made a difference. One of it was going to be on D, as the Orioles had to play solid defense because White Sox had some chances early. This could have been a run, but no. Jones is able to cut it off, holding the runner at third base, putting runners at second and third. Then Jeremy Guthrie went to work. Carlos Quinton would end up ending the inning on that fly ball, and then he would do it again. It would be another big out, leaving runners on one more time, this time at first and second in the third inning, and the Orioles able to get it done. That's quality work when you need it, Ben McDonald.
Well, Guthrie got in some jams early, didn't have his best stuff early, but boy, he made some big pitches when he had to, got out of those big jams, and really settled in later on, went 8 innings, only giving up 1 earned run. Of course, Millwood did the same thing a couple nights ago, and Mattis is hoping to follow right behind those 2 guys tonight.
Well, those pitchers are feeding off one another. Let's see if it can continue here tonight. When we come back, we'll wrap up this series, Game 4, and the end of this homestand. By Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Summertime weather returning to Baltimore in full force. A warm and humid day. Let's take a look at our train game time temperature for tonight's ball game. It is at 90 degrees, mostly clear skies, and virtually no breeze. Visit trainsearch.com to locate an independent train dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Here's the starting lineup now for the White Sox, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Pierre, Ramirez, and Rios, Konerko, Quinton, and Brzezinski, Viciedo, Jones, and Lillibridge. Andrew Jones getting his first appearance as a starter in this series.
And our PNC scouting report on Brian Madison, what he needs to do to achieve success tonight. Well, the baby bird, he's only 19 minor league starts, 23 to the big leagues. 3 games he's pitched this year in the starting capacity against the Red Sox. This is the first one ever against the White Sox. And again, they don't get him a lot of runs. They did in his last game. They got him 9. But in the previous 11 starts, something like 22 runs. So get him some runs, let him pitch as well as he did, where he was very good against the Angels earlier in the week.
And Brian Mattis ready to go. And here is Pierre leading it off. Juan Pierre will take the pitch inside for a ball. Pierre has continued his hit streak to 15 games, but the Oriole pitchers have done a good job. He's had only 3 hits and 13 at-bats in this series. 1-0 delivery to him, a breaking ball that is in there for a strike.
And he is very well aware that Brian Mattis does not hold runners well, so if he gets on, he won't linger at first very long.
No. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Pierre does get on with a base hit into left field. Played by Pierre. Now the fun begins.
Yep. Let's take a look at the defense. PA got to it very quickly. Jones, Markakis, very fleet outfield for the Orioles. Bell, Asturs, who got his 1,000th hit yesterday, made a great play at shortstop. Brian Roberts back from the back injuries. Wigington, and then Matt Wieters doing the catching.
So now, with the Major League's leading base stealer on, 42 out of the 56. And Brian Mattis has given up, when he's been on the mound, 16 out of 19 stolen bases.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to do a better job of holding runners on base. We saw Pierre get on against Millwood a couple days ago, but Millwood did a nice job of varying his moves, slide stepping when he could to try to hold him close to the bag, and Pierre was not able to steal.
That'll be taken for a strike. Alexei Ramirez batting in the number 2 spot. Pierre with a 42. Crawford not far behind him, actually. Raja Davis, B.J. Upton, and Brett Gardner of the Yankees. They are tops in the American League in stolen bases. Ramirez 3 for 11 in the series. Pretty good lead for Pierre. Not going. In the air down the right field side. Markakis coming hard, and it'll be a foul ball.
That's one of those balls that you just hope is going foul because you know nobody's playing there.
Yeah, Pierre got a good jump on that. He was headed easily to third base on that. Probably would have been second and third, nobody out.
Pierre is getting his read on Brian Mattis. Mattis has not faced the White Sox before, so these base runners and base stealers in particular will be taking their first real look at the left-hander.
Well, they know because Brian Doyle was in here when the Angels, they couldn't get a lot of runs, but they did run on them. And I mean, that's part of the process. But again, we go back to the scouting report from PNC, the baby bird, 19 minor league starts. Mike Flanagan, when he came up, who works here at Madison, won a Cy Young Award. His move got one of the best, but it took time. Same with Scotty McGregor. It's just part of the adjustments you have to make. And I'm sure he's going to work on it. I know Buck Showalter's very aware of the numbers as the new manager.
23-year-old left-hander with a 1-ball 2-strike count on Ramirez, and Ramirez's bat goes flying as he missed it, and he's gone. So Brian Mattis will get the strikeout, and Ramirez is the first out of the inning.
Yeah, you can look at all the film, but until you get to home plate and until you find out that the one thing that Brian Mattis has that day in and day out is a changeup. He'll throw it in any count, and right there, able to get Mattis to do it's a new baseball sport, the bat toss.
Yeah, I tell you. Yeah, and then you mentioned it, Jim. These guys, Chicago's never seen Mattis before. And I tell you what, they know he throws a lot of fastballs for a left-hander. He challenges guys, comes up with that 4-seam fastball in the zone, but also possesses a very good 2-seam fastball and a changeup, as you saw right there.
Here is Alex Rios. Pierre still at first base. Rios the only one who has faced Mattis, 1 for 2 off him. Rios this season against the American League East has put up big numbers. Third best in Major League Baseball with that 364 average against the Eastern Division teams, even though the White Sox have not fared that well against Eastern Division teams. They are 8 and 13. That one hit hard, but it's going to be PA getting over in the gap and makes the play. Rios retired. Brian Mattis in his young career has been a fly ball pitcher and expected to be one probably for all of his career.
Yeah, I mean, when you saw he pitches up and with that four-seam fastball, and I like that. I mean, he's not afraid to challenge guys, throws a ton of fastballs. That was a changeup right there that he got Rios on, kind of got him out in front of it a little bit. But he's going to mix all his pitches. He's got a good breaking ball, too. So we're going to see fastballs, two different kinds, a good breaking ball and changeup as well.
All right, that'll bring up Konerko. Konerko's got a 3 for 12 going in the series. The 27 home runs, leading the White Sox in homers. You just got to figure Pierre's got to take off here.
I would have thought he'd run by now.
Yeah. A long hold right there, and Pierre got completely off balance.
Well, again, that's one of the things you can do. I mean, you're looking right at him. You know they're trying to time you. He's had a chance now to see him throw, what, about 7, 8 pitches? So, again, you would think, and again, you know, the Ricky Hendersons, the Tommy Harpers, the Bert Campaneros, they would already have been trying to get to second.
Konerko is going to be behind on that one, and it is a strike 2 count on him.
That was one of the most important things Dick Bosman taught us here in the early 90s with the Orioles, is to vary your moves to home plate. You know, don't let the base runner over there get a consistent look, consistent move of you going to home plate. And that was a perfect example a couple of pitches ago. Mattis held the ball for a long time, and Pierre just gave up. He just stood up out of his stance, and he pitched the ball to home plate.
Yep. 0-2 count, 2 down. Konerko. Weeder sets up away. That's where the pitch is. It'll miss a little bit outside. Saw Konerko with the home runs. He is second with 27, fifth in slugging. He is eighth in RBIs with 76.
Yeah, 17 of those home runs in Chicago. Not that he can't hit them on the road, because he can. This is a pretty hitter-friendly ballpark.
Yeah. Well, the Orioles have done a nice job. He does have 3 hits in this series against the Orioles, but I don't think he's done a whole lot of damage. You know, a couple of hits off the end of the bat.
And Konerko will inside out that to right field. Roberts is going to get the closest, and he will make the play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. And Brian Mattis gets through a first inning that for the year has been troubling. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup for the O's, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Roberts, Markakis, Wigginton, Scott, Jones, and PA. Wieters, Asturis, and Bell. Adam Jones, a 5 for 13 this series, including 1 long ball.
And let's take a look at our PSC scouting report on Edwin Jackson and see what he needs to do tonight to achieve success. Power pitcher. He can throw up to, you know, the high 90s. Got 3 other pitches to go with it. The no-hitter. He walked 8. I did 9 in mine, so I'm better than him. And he threw 149 pitches. I'm Wilder. And again, against the American League in 2010, a lot of success. 4-0 with a very low ERA.
Those are the total numbers on the year with both the Sox and Diamondbacks. This is his second start with the White Sox. Brian Roberts will lead it off, and he fouls it away. Roberts in the leadoff spot with a 4 for 12 so far in this series. Jackson at Detroit in his debut with this ball club gave up just 1 run, 9 hits in 7 innings, getting a win as he put on the White Sox uniform. Here's the 0-1 to Roberts, and that is in there for strike 0-2. Generally, you've got to be very patient with Edwin Jackson because he throws a ton of pitches in a ball game. He will run counts and he doesn't really care. 0-2. Outfield shallow and Roberts. It's away 1-2.
That's right. You got to be patient because he will walk you if you give him a chance, But he's got them all. And like Jim said, mid-90 fastball, 2-seam, 4-seam fastball, 2 different breaking balls, a curveball and a slider, and we'll mix in a changeup occasionally as well.
1 ball, 2 strike count. And Brian is gone. He'll be the strikeout victim, and there's 1 in the ball game and 1 down.
Yeah, there's a slider that we talked about, Ben, and Ken Harrelson, who does the TV, pretty good hitter in his own right, said, boy, he had a good one against the Tigers, and they would know. They had him. He won 14 games for him.
Well, you could see that ball right there. I mean, it's in the strike zone, 50, 55 feet, and all of a sudden the last 5 feet or so, bottom just falls out of it. Brian Roberts, no chance of hitting that.
Edwin Jackson has a 4-1 record against the Orioles. He's won his last 4 starts against them. Here's Nick Markakis. 5-game hit streak for Nick. He's had a very strong series against the White Sox and strong numbers, 6 for 12 lifetime against Jackson, including a double, 3 RBIs off the White Sox starter. Nick's got the same number in this series. He's 6 for 12. And that's pushed him back up to the 297 mark. Jackson's delivery to him, that'll be a strike.
Yeah, I was talking to Don Cooper, their pitching coach, and they lead the league since 2003 in quality starts. I said, so Edwin Jackson? He said, yeah. He won 27 games the last 2 years. All we did was ask him to stand taller with his backside. He said, we looked at the film before we traded for him. After the no-hitter, he started collapsing the back leg. And if you're 6'3", what do they say? Of course, you're, 6'7", Ben? Stand tall and fall.
That's right. Yeah, get that downward action going instead of letting everything flatten out. Working with downward plane.
2-1 delivery on the way to Markakis. He'll put that in the air to left field. Juan Pierre. He meanders under, and there are 2 down. That'll bring up Ty Wigginton. Wigginton also bringing in a hot bat that he's carried in this series. The homestand, he's 8 for 24. He's had 5 RBIs and 2 doubles. And Wiggy has continued to be a power source and an RBI source for the Orioles. 17 homers and 59 runs batted in. 2 down and nobody on against Jackson. Home run wise, Jackson hasn't given up many. He has served up only a home run in 2 of the last 12 starts that he's made. 0-1 delivery, fouled off. He's going to be tough to get the ball up on.
Yeah, well, especially that 2-seamer, and you see the velocity goes down, but a lot of grounders. So if you're playing defense behind him, Pierre, Rios, and Jones, Andrew Jones with the 10 gold gloves out and right. Vicito at third, Ramirez, Littlebridge, Konerko, and Prozinski. AJ back after a slight sprain of the ankle.
Interesting that most ground ball pitchers, which Jackson is, get their ground balls off the sinking fastball. That's not true. His fastball is not a sinking fastball, but his slider has so much movement that hitters tend to be on top of it, and he gets the ground balls off the slider. There's a bouncer.
He stays down in the strike zone. Even with his 4-seamer, he's below the knees. He's painting the ball in the outside corner. He's going to be tough to hit if he stays right there. You see that last pitch, a slider, he bounced that one at 88 miles an hour, but he's staying down with everything so far.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to get him to do, in talking to Don Cooper, the back end of this bullpen, in fact, the whole bullpen is terrific. Just go out there, really compete by throwing strikes early on. We'll take care of the 7th, 8th, and 9th if your pitch count gets too high.
Ty Wigginton, and he will go down a strikeout victim. So a 1-2-3 inning for Jackson with 2 strikeouts, 1 complete here at Camden Yards.
come around the same time the starters are putting in quality starts. Ty Wigginton says they are related. It's not just because you have less pressure on you when you're hitting with a lead. He said it's also because you're getting in off the field a lot quicker, so you're translating those adjustments you need to make from at bat to at bat a lot easier. And he also said that you just keep your mind in the game in general, and it sounds funny, but it feels like you actually have an at bat every inning when your mind is focused and sharpened in the game, Gary.
Well, let's see what this one looks like as we move along tonight. Ty Wigginton really done a job over there at first base. He has gotten so much better footwork-wise. It's really helped the infield. Designated hitter Carlos Quentin will pop that one back, and it'll be over the screen. Quentin has not had a good series as the DH, 1 for 12. The hit was a home run. He continues to put up the homers and the RBIs with the power numbers and not the overall average.
Yeah, we saw him take a 3-1 slider by Millwood a couple games ago and hit it straight away. So even out in front, goes out show you how strong he is. Hit it straight away center for a homer.
Only one for his last 15, and that one's going to get popped back. And that, too, is going to end up in the seats. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah,
Ozzie Krasinski and Viciedo coming up.
Yeah, Isaac Ian was saying, and he made a nice couple of plays in the outfield. He said he's not comfortable DHing. When we talk about Carlos Quentin, he said because, again, he's such a high energy guy. And, that's what Gary Sheffield used to always say. When you're used to playing the outfield, and he had the bad foot last year, you don't like the DH.
And that'll be taken down low.
All you think about is your offers if you don't get hits. It's fine when you go, when you get a couple of hits to start.
Yeah, well, 1 for 1, 2 for 2. It's easy to sit down and wait, but boy. Kind of like being a starting pitcher when you have that bad outing. Boy, it seems like that 5th day will never get there again.
What if you have a bad month?
Oh, boy. I don't want to talk about that.
Season.
Well,
I think a lot of hitters still downplay the role of the designated hitter, even as long as it's been in. They consider it a half a player instead of a whole player, and they don't like it.
Well, it takes a veteran guy to do it a lot of times. A guy that's been around a little bit, maybe used to play a position, but normally veteran guys do a lot better job of accepting that role and being able to concentrate and work through it.
Well, they're one of the best ever sitting over on their bench, Harold Baines. And,
right.
Of course, he came up as one of the best young all-around players and then after the knee, so it can pretty much do that. The same with Edgar Martinez up in Seattle.
3-2 delivery on the way, and there's the first walk. So the leadoff man on in each of the first 2 innings for the White Sox. The Orioles are going to return to Camden Yards on a Monday to begin a week-long homestand with the Mariners and the first-place Rangers. There's still plenty of summer left in Birdland, so gather up your family and friends and get out here a week from tonight. Tickets in advance at 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. Don Wakamatsu was let go as the manager of Seattle today. He was fired. They took their AAA manager and moved him up into the manager's role, Darren Brown, on an interim basis. All I know is, of course, if they do make coaching changes here, he used to coach for Buck Showalter. You don't find a better guy than Don. And, of course, the hand was dealt against him this year. Well, in the spring, everybody said they were going to be the Cinderella team of baseball, and they're not even close. The bunt going for the hit is fouled off by Pierzynski, with the runner on at first base. Brian Mattis, take a look at the numbers here. Last year, we're talking about left-handed hitters, 200. This year, 272. When the ball is put in play, 227. 400 this year. Numbers that have dramatically risen, and particularly by the left-handed batters. Balls that have been put in play by the left-handers have gone dramatically up as far as the hits are concerned. Last year, left-handers, balls put in play, 227. This year, left-handers, balls put in play, 394. What does all that mean? It means left-handers are getting better pitches to hit. And they know more about him. 8 starts last year, and now he's out there every 5th day. That'll be taken away by Pierzynski. Nobody out, runner at first, 2-2 count. Yeah, the league's adjusted to him. He'll have to adjust back now. And last year, of course, we all know he's getting a lot of run support. It was easy for him to go pitch because he seemed like he was always pitching with the league. This year, it's been a little bit different. Hadn't got a whole lot of run support, so every pitch means something now. 2-2 count, short lead at first base for Carlos Quentin. Brzezinski reaching for it. He'll foul that one away.
Yeah, I mean, you look at AJ, he does not. He usually hits lefties pretty well this year, and that's why you didn't want to really walk Quentin, because he's hitting 195. He becomes a better hitter when you have a man on first. He can hit a routine ground ball to right field now, and it may get into right.
Left field very deep on him. He's got the bad left ankle. Good enough to play, but not 100%. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way, and the fastball will miss up high. No, Brzezinski takes it full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And how did he get there? He fouled off some pretty good pitches because they just kind of have a better idea of what Brian throws. And that's, again, you have to, as you get in the ability to pitch better, you'll make more quality pitchers more often.
3-2 count. See if he goes. Runner does not. That ball be hit in the air to right field. Nick Markakis. Brzezinski is retired. Back to first base goes Quentin. And the fly ball pitcher gets a fly ball out. And the first out here in the second inning.
Yeah, it's a big pitch, 3-2 right there. To it just enough inside on the inner third of the plate. Got Koniski to pop it up out there to Markakis.
Diane Viciedo will stand in. The 21-year-old out of Cuba. Second game, as Ozzie promised, he would play only 2 out of 4, and that's just what he's done. Starting at third base in both games, he had an 0 for 4 in the opener of this series. Viciedo will take the pitch inside on the corner for a strike.
But he doesn't get cheated. People
Big,
air it out.
powerful swing, boy. He is a strong kid.
Well, he defected from Cuba. I asked Ozzie today, Ozzie Guillen, the manager of the White Sox, I said, how'd he get here? He said, by boat, of course. I kind of want a little more to that.
And he lines it to left field. PA back and makes a nice catch. Viciedo is retired. Quentin's got to get back to first. And for whatever reason, Felix Pie, who couldn't get a jump on a ball to save his life for 2.5 months, has been playing left field like a left fielder.
Yeah, and it really started against the Angels. Well, also, he's working harder. So Carlos is going to go back. Viciedo, he comes back. Well, how did that happen? Well, it happened because it's the big leagues.
Yeah, you can't get a better jump than that. I mean, he read that perfectly off the bat, turned, ran toward the wall, caught it on the run.
So there are 2 down. Here's Andrew Jones. Jones has not had an at-bat in this series. He is making the start in right field. Runner on at first base with 2 away, and the pitch is taken up high. Jones, an amazing career with the Atlanta Braves when it started. I mean, he's 46th on the home run list. He's been a Gold Glover 10 times around. 10 straight Gold Gloves, in fact, playing center field. And then virtually disappeared. And now plays a backup role on the bench for the White Sox.
Well, he's 33, and you go back to that World Series where, he was 19 years old, I think. He hit a couple of home runs. Boy, everybody I've talked to said when he plays right field, this is a pretty, really terrific defense for them.
He pops that one back. He's not been able to get much done with the bat in the limited times. Only a couple of hits in his last 14 at bats, and he's not playing a whole lot. That doesn't help. 78th game, only 225 at bats. Still has put up some pretty good power numbers.
Yeah, how about that for the career? Over 400 homers and 1,200 RBIs.
1-2 delivery on the way. Jones will reach and foul.
Used to play the most, other than Paul Blair, who played here in Baltimore. Nobody played at shallows, and you could hardly get it over his head.
Yeah, they stayed in the ballpark. He caught it. And I'll tell you what, he's had a couple good swings right here against Mattis, too.
Well, just got to get the ball down.
Right. He keeps staying up there with Andrew Jones, and you could see it go over the fence in a hurry.
235 off lefties, 191 off right-handers for Jones. But he does have 6 home runs off southpaws.
Yeah, you get that. From what I've seen on a couple of pitches, he's going to get a sports hernia. He's swinging so hard.
Yeah.
So when they do that, that's when you know you got to go down in the zone.
First base, Quentin, who's been waiting with a leadoff walk. Jones will take the breaking ball. Looked pretty good, but he doesn't get the call.
Well, it's not where you catch it. It's where it goes over in relation to the knees. And that looks like a strike. Yeah, check this out.
Oh, just below. How do you lay off of that anyway is what I want to know. I guess you're fooled so bad you don't even swing at it.
Here's Giccioni, the home plate umpire. Mattis with a 2-2 count. 2 down. Jones to third. That is a foul ball. We mentioned how Brian got through a first inning. It always matters. He'd given up 51% of the runs this year in the first inning. So, as with so many of the starters, to get by that first inning is a big mental sigh.
It was huge for Millwood 2 nights ago. I mean, he got a 14 ERA in the first inning, so it was big. You know, he walked Juan Pierre to start the game, but found a way to get out of it. You know, of course, Guthrie gets out of a couple big jams early yesterday.
There's that hernia right there. Brian Mattis, a strikeout. That'll be his second of the ball game. No runs, no hits with a base runner left on. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. PA with a little defensive help. Thank you. Orioles had 4 doubles in the ballgame yesterday. That's now 18 in August, and that is third most in the American League. Call today for the Luna Double and get your second room of flooring free. Call 877-241-LUNA. Bottom of the second inning, no score. Scott Jones and PA due up. Orioles trying to make it a 3-1 series against the White Sox and get their 6th series win of the season. Luke at 289 with the 20 home runs. 3 for 8 in the series and a 6-game hit streak coming in. Luke has really been pounding the ball here in the second half of the season since the All-Star break. As Oriole fans know, a home run every 9.5 times to the plate in the second half. There's a Babe Ruth going.
Yeah, really.
Grounds that one to second. Lillibridge is there, and Scott's retired. One away here in the second inning. On Wednesday, join former Orioles pitcher Tippy Martinez at High Top's Backstage Grill, York Road in Timonium, a Masson Orioles alumni viewing party. Tippy will be there 6 to 8, meeting fans, signing autographs. Birds Indians live on Masson HD at 7:05. Details on the community calendar at OriolesReach.com. Hot but beautiful summer night here at Camden Yards with the 90-degree temperature when we started, and as we said, there's virtually no breeze at all. Here is Adam Jones. He too with a hit streak of 5 games. Jackson's pitch to him will be taken inside.
Yeah, nice little 12 for 28. And of course that hanging slider for a home run in August, that'll get you going.
Here's the 1-0 delivery to him, and Jones taking it. It is in there for a strike.
Yeah, career high of 19 home runs. It'll be interesting if he can stay healthy. You know, he had the ankle problem last year, broken foot the year before, so he's never been able to play a complete season.
Certain wants to get this one in. 1-1 delivery on the way is going to be grounded to short, played by Ramirez. Fly ball pitcher against the ground ball pitcher in this one, and so far that's the way it looks. Brian Mattis gets the fly balls and Jackson the ground balls. Here is Felix PA. PA has really played some D. Yesterday he also added the home run. He's 9 for 27 with 5 RBIs in the month of August. And he has helped on both ends, field and plate, for the Orioles.
Well, for the first time, you have pretty much what the lineup you thought early on with the Sans Tejada, who is now playing for San Diego. So you put a full complement of some major league hitters.
Nolan Ramo was scheduled to start in left field in spring training, and then PA was planned to be the backup. And Nolan went down, has been at the minor league level all year, and PA has worked in and out of the lineup with a number of left fielders. Jackson with the 0-1. 1-1.
Well, that's what's been so impressive about this streak for the Orioles is that it hadn't been just one part of their game that's got it going. I mean, it's been the pitching, starting pitching, relief pitching. Defense has been great. They've been hitting, not only hitting, but hitting with runners in scoring position, extra base hits. It's all come together at once.
But Showalter couldn't be happier about that, could he?
I guess not.
Well, he did. You know, and again, if you talk to him, and we all do, and he'll say, well, listen, it's not just about me, it's about my players. But he did get their attention.
Yes, he did.
And he will continue to get their attention.
Yep. Here's the 1-2 delivery on that. PA puts that one the other way. That's a late swing. Base hit. Jackson looked in at Brzezinski like, that's right where I wanted it to be. And Brzezinski was like, hey, let it go.
Well, you know, last night, Lance Berkman, who's been struggling with the Yankees after coming over from Houston, this is exactly what he did off of Beckett. You're going to pitch you away, and you're going to play him off the line, which I think is too far. You know, when it's different when you're throwing 93 to 95. The charts don't tell you the true story, so Felix just takes advantage of it.
You can see that grip. That's the four-seam fastball right there. But I tell you what, give PA a lot of credit. Not trying to do too much with that. Just, boy, talk about letting the ball get deep. He let it get deep. He hit right down the third base line.
Now Matt Waiters with PA on, and PA threat to go here as Felix PA's got the speed. He hasn't had a lot of opportunities with the games played this season. Waiters has not had a hit yet in this series. He has gone 0 for 6. Matt now at 246 on the season. Felix PA, a couple of stolen bases and 4 chances. Brzezinski throws out 30%, right about the major league average. Here's the 0-1 delivery.
Yeah, he's got good enough stuff to get fastballs in the middle of the plate and get ahead, and you can't quite get to him. Ray Miller used to always say, that's what you like when you're looking at a pitcher. Can he get into hitters' counts and still be able to get the swings and the misses or the foul balls?
Well, there's a big difference between his two-seamer and four-seamer that we've seen on the radar gun. I mean, the four-seamer's at 94, 95, and even higher at times, and the two-seamer seems to be down around 90, 91, you know. But it does have a little bit of sink to it, for sure, the two-seamer does.
0-2 count with 2 away. Waiters waiting on it. That one bounces. You do have to be alert, as you've seen already. He's thrown 13 wild pitches this season. He was leading the National League when he came over to the White Sox in wild pitches. And he's hit 5 batters, so he can move the ball around a little bit out of the strike zone.
Yeah, and it seems to do with that breaking ball mostly, you know, the slider and the curveball. Seems like he has the same release point with his fastball as he does his breaking balls. Of course, breaking balls, you got to start a little bit higher. You have him in the same release pocket. He pitches down the zone good, we've seen so far with that fastball. I mean, it's knee high on everybody.
PA goes. That's in the air to center field. Rios. And he's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Oh, my. I love those Philly steak sandwiches. Go to Southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Orioles looking to get their 24th win at home. They are 23-34 at home. White Sox have had their struggles away from Chicago. Still 2 above 500, but they are a somewhat different team, especially offensively, on the road. Brian Mattis will face Brent Lillibridge out of Everett, Washington. Lillibridge, AAA and the majors, split time last year with the White Sox. And Lillibridge goes down the line in right field. Marquez coming over near the line. That is going to be a foul ball into the disappearing corner. And Lillibridge will come back with a 1-strike count. Lillibridge getting playing time at second base as Beckham is out of there with a strained groin. Not serious enough, fortunately, for the White Sox to put him on the DL, and he hopes to be back within a game or 2.
Yeah, you were talking about it all 3 games, hitting close to 400 in the last 25 games. So, but again, Brent Lillibridge, he's hit well against lefties, and he was hot coming into this series. In fact, started the first night of this 4-game series.
Lillibridge, the breaking ball. Here's the injury that took Beckham down when he fielded this ground ball. It fell in his protective cup that actually cut into his groin on the inside, not on the leg side of it, and that's what took him out of there. And fortunate it wasn't worse than that. Pitch is going to miss, and a 2-ball 1-strike count.
See Mattis starting to work in that breaking ball. We've seen some change-ups and fastballs. Now he's starting to backdoor breaking ball, trying to get it going now.
Two-on delivery, foul back, 2-2. Mattis, obviously, one of the things this year that's been a problem has been that pitch count because it gets so high so early.
Well, you know, his last game, he threw about almost 57% fastballs, but he threw 81% of 4-seamers over and 89% of the 2-seamers. And able to keep the pitch count down. They got a lot of them run support. One of those perfect games. You're pitching well. At one point, he had thrown 41 strikes and only 19 balls.
He's thrown 65% of his pitches for strikes.
That's good. Bad. I mean, that's really good.
Yeah, look at that. Isn't it? That's his home support. And again, on the year, about 4 runs a game. Guthrie came into yesterday at 3.30. Not a lot of run support either over the course of the year. Yeah, I think it, and this is my opinion, and I saw it with Mike Flanagan, I saw it with Eric Bedard, a little bit with Scotty McGregor. When he does what he did last game, which is locate down and away, all those other pitches will become even better because you'll have some lower pitch count innings, and then you move on. You got to have that one place you can go, that safe haven, and that's low and away to the right-handed hitters for a left-handed pitcher.
Brent Lillibridge will take that to the middle. Adam Jones is there, and he's got it. Lillibridge is retired. Buck Showalter talking about Mattis, what he's looking for and sees.
He's going to be what he is, and I like it. I like the sum of the parts. And I tell you, there's some people might, if you talk to them as they drag their bat back to the dugout, might disagree with you about not having a dominant pitch. And I certainly haven't had the sampling that y'all have had, but I'm glad he's wearing our uniform. I'm glad he's one of us.
That was prior to the ball game tonight. Top of the order with 1 down. Pierre single, his first time up.
Well, one thing you know about Brian Mattis, he will compete. I mean, a little bit we've seen him, and he's a competitor out there. He wants to win. He wants to do well. He's in every ball game, and he will go out and compete every time out, no matter what kind of stuff he has.
That'll be fouled away, and that'll be an 0-2 count. It is so young. It is his 31st major league start, and only 23 years old, birthday in February, so the learning process, as Jim's noted, has been right here at this level. That one swung on and punched down the line a bit. PA coming over, and will run out of room.
Well, Ben and I, we've both had real good careers, and we didn't do it by ourselves. That's the one thing. I mean, you know, I had Farmers over in the radio booth for the White Sox. He said, you were the best young pitcher he ever saw. Ever. And he was doing scouting for the Orioles at the time. So when you come up to this level, it's just different. It doesn't matter how good you are. And you have to do it by, obviously you make adjustments, but it's also about the team you play for. Do they get runs? Do they make the plays?
Yeah, I mean, it was it was really tough for me, because even in college, my college coach, Bertman, called every one of my pitches. I mean, whatever finger the catcher put down, I threw it. And so I really never learned how to pitch, what to look for. And all of a sudden, I'm 21 years old, and I'm facing the best hitters in the world, and now I'm expected to get them out. I got a young catcher in Chris Hoyles who's learning like I am, and it was tough. I mean, I went home a bunch of nights and banged my head on the wall wondering why I couldn't get big league hitters out. But, thank gosh, junior Cal Ripken came along and started calling some pitches out from shortstop, which not many people know. And, Sutcliffe came along later and really helped my maturing process, as well as some of the other young pitchers as well.
That was a hit batter, by the way. It hit his sleeve. So there's the 6th hit batter for Mattis this year. And it puts Pierre on again. He has singled, been hit by a pitch. He takes over the lead from his teammate in being hit by pitches, 15th time that he's been hit this year. Carlos Quinton's right behind him with one less. There he goes. Oh, mercy, what a jump. Ground ball to short. Only play is going to be at first. Hustled over there, and a good play by his Torres. Ramirez retired. Pierre goes down to second, 2 down.
Yeah, again, not the straight steal. So Ramirez, this is obviously a run, and there he goes, and then the swing. And Ramirez, 2 years ago, he swung at almost 50% of the first pitch strikes. So a guy that you can hit and run with, you hope that somebody's going to cover. Somebody's got to cover second base, and you open up a hole, but the Orioles get the out, and you like that.
Now Rios, 296 with runners in scoring position, and 297 overall. Stands in with 2 down. He flied out to left field his first time up. Konerko on deck. And will take the pitch inside for a ball. It's the ball club that right now is second in the league and average with runners in scoring position at 277. They are second only as a team to the Twins. The Twins, of course, are the team chasing the White Sox, just a half game back.
Yeah, they're all talking. It's going to be all the way down to the wire.
Yep. 1-0 turnaround. They've got 9 games left with the Minnesota Twins between now and the end of the year. The opponents' average win percentage. White Sox teams they face, 493. Minnesota teams they face, 498. Hardly any difference at all. Timeout taken at the plate.
Yeah, Rios has really showed us in this series. This is a totally different hitter from the player the White Sox got from Toronto at the end of the year. Cut his swing down, had some great 2-out base hits to get him some runs yesterday and then the other night in the add-on game on Saturday night.
2-0 to Rios. Rios with 3 hits and 8 at-bats in the series. Pierre's on at second base, and with 2 down, he'll be flying on contact. Look where those hands are. That is so low.
Yeah, but that's where they start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you get them into the hitting position.
Yeah, if you watch him, they start low, but if the ball begins to come towards home plate, he gets him back up in that hitting position that you're talking about.
2-0 delivery on the way. Yeah. And this inside, 3-0.
You can see those hands creep up as the ball begins to come.
And because he's able to hit as well as he does, and I'm sure Brian Mattis has paid attention to the kind of at-bats he has, now you're careful. Now you're 3-0. He could be swinging, and if you walk him, then you've got a guy that can really hurt you, and you could be 3-0 in a hurry with Konerko waiting on deck.
Here's the 3-0 delivery, and he's taking, and it is in there for a strike. This White Sox team 15-12 against left-handed starters this year. They hit 256 as a team off the lefties. Pierre's fairly close to the bag. Brian Roberts has moved way over towards second base. You see Brian in the picture there, not far away. 3-1 delivery is ripped down the line, and that is going to be a fair ball. A little bounce around in the corner. PA up with it. A stand-up double. An RBI for Rios, and the White Sox have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it looked like a changeup that stays up, so you want to trick him 3-1 after you fall behind. And at this level, let's check out the location. Pretty much right down the middle, and the good hitters, they don't miss those pitches. Yeah,
and of course, with a 3-1 count, Rios has the ability to sit on a certain pitch and look for a pitch. If he maybe gets fastball right there, he takes it and still 3-2. But that ball was left up in the strike zone. Even the 3-1 changeup, just like we saw Millwood give up a 3-1 homer on a slider a couple games ago. Big league hitters just don't miss those pitches.
So 1-0 lead on hit number 2 for the White Sox. 65 RBIs for Rios, and that'll bring up Paul Konerko. Konerko popped out his first time up. He's been really tough on lefties. His .353 batting average against left-handers is 7th best in the American League. He and Markakis are both in the top 10 in the American League, batting average-wise against lefties. 0-1 count, 2 down. Rios with good speed at second base. And that'll be in the dirt. Wieters handles it.
Oh, you got to be impressed with this Chicago White Sox team. I mean, they hit for power, they got speed. I mean, we've seen their starting pitcher, John Danks and Mark Burley. Of course, Gavin Floyd, of all quality pitchers, have done well, but the Orioles have actually just outpitched them this series, though. I mean, Oriole pitching has been really good.
Orioles here in this homestand have an ERA of 3.44 as a team. Starters 1.94. 1-1 delivery on the way, and Brian Mattis will miss inside, and Konerko has a 2-1 count.
Well, they're on a roll, and we saw it with Rios. We talk about that 39 and 15, but their starters over that period, 44 quality starts, 31 and 12 with an ERA of 2.76. So they've done what the Orioles have done the last 6 games for over 2 months now, and that's pretty impressive. Yeah,
and especially, I mean, you got to love if you're a starting pitcher for the White Sox to look at that bullpen down there. I mean, they come back with Pena and Jenks and Putz and Thornton down there, and I tell you what, you get through 6 innings, 7 innings with these guys, you got a very good chance of getting a W.
Yeah, Gavin Floyd, I ran into him today, and he's a big guy, from here, Mount St. Joseph High School. He said, you really don't have to pitch 9 on this team.
Yeah.
I said, I'm getting that feeling after what you guys play now into the 4th game.
Yeah.
This team, you're not going to pitch 9 unless you got a no-hitter going. 2-2 delivery to Konerko, and he takes that to second base, and a big hop. Brian Roberts has got it and makes the play. But a White Sox run, and it was the hit batter Pierre that created the opportunity. 1-0. Is the all-time leader in hits as a designated hitter.
I got to guess.
Harold Baines?
Maybe, or Edgar Martinez.
Well, Harold's here.
Harold's here.
I'm going with the...
gone with Edgar, but because Harold's here, I go with Harold.
I'm going St. Michael's.
Their answer is... Yes. Go with a clue. He's around the ballpark and can be shown on camera. There he is.
There he is. Talk to Harold.
And the home runs all started with the beam. First Major League home run. Not the kid here. Got him going.
He
low curve ball, and he golfed it into the
He
seat.
was the best ever at taking a backdoor breaking ball and hit it to left center field, I can tell you. I saw him, when he came over and played with the Orioles, I was here, and I tell you what, he could flat out hit.
Ground ball towards the middle by Asturis. Ramirez will range. Asturis is retired.
You think, of course, this is what Cesar does all the time. You think you got yourself a base hit, but Ramirez, very rangy.
One away. Edwin Jackson with a 1-0 lead. 3rd inning. Josh Bell to be followed by Roberts. Bell has had a 1 for 10 so far in the series. Day game today, Boston beat New York by a score of 2-1. Lester, 6 1/3, no runs, 4 hits. Bard got a hold. Papelbon a save over an inning and a third, striking out 3 and walking 1. Philip Hughes took the loss. He is 13-5 for the Yankees. Teixeira had his 26th home run for the only Yankee run. So the Yankees and Red Sox split, leaving Boston for the moment 6 games behind the Yankees. Tampa Bay right now is 2 games behind.
Daniel Bard came in with 1 out in the 7th, struck out Jeter on a 98-mile-per-hour fastball.
Up high.
Yeah, and then he threw a two-seamer to strike out Swisher. One of the great two-seamers in the history of the game. About 98, and the bottom dropped out.
Yeah, it just disappeared.
Tampa Bay can move to within a game and a half because they're playing tonight in Detroit. They got a chance to pick up a game on the Yankees.
And we've seen over the last couple of days, we feed little Oriole fans with pom-poms. That's what John Lester was doing when Bard struck out
cheering
Jeter and Swisher. Oh, he had him out, and why not? What a huge game for the Red Sox.
That's why Papelbon worked an inning and a third. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way to Bell. He ground that to second base. Lillibridge. A couple of ground ball outs, and there are 2 away. And our fan of the game is presented by the Green Turtle, your family fun place where the kids eat free this summer. Find your location at greenturtle.com. There's the young man, towhead, ready to go. Third base maybe, catcher, I'm not sure, but clearly focused on the game.
That's a good lip sync.
Well, right up here, Mom.
Yeah.
Let's go, team.
When are we going to score runs? That's what the hands went up for.
Dad, what are you eating? Brian Roberts, 2 down and nobody on. Brian, a strikeout victim. Jackson with no walks, 2 strikeouts so far. And that is a strike. Brian looks back. Somewhat disagreeing. That's about the most reaction you'll ever see from Brian Roberts. He doesn't agree.
Well, we talk about it all the time. The veteran hitters, if it's on strike 1, get an idea what the strike zone is. It's not what you want. You'd rather be hitting 1-0 than 0-1, but Brian takes a lot of first pitches anyway, so it's not like it's destroying his bats. The ones that hurt, that same pitch called strike 3, and you have to go back and grab the glove and go out to your position, that's one's a little frustrating.
0-2 count on Roberts. Jackson's pitch to him will be up high.
Okay, there's a little extra in it. 97, and it goes. Yeah, he's pitching under control, and of course that's what Don Cooper, his new pitching coach, talked about.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery, and Roberts fouls it off. For Jackson, his 8th appearance, 6th start against the Orioles, 4-1, 4.86 ERA against the O's lifetime. He has pitched here at Camden Yards previously, 2-1. This is his 4th start here. A high ERA in this ballpark, 6.48, even though he's 2-1 here. 1-2 delivery in the dirt.
Another one of those bouncing breaking balls, but boy, he's been impressive so far. Staying down the zone, throwing in the mid 90s, pitching at 93 and 95. And of course, he can hump up, as we saw a minute ago, for a little extra, try to come up at 97.
Jackson could be a difference maker in the division race and beyond. 2-2 delivery on the way, and Roberts again goes down and slams the bat in the helmet. So Jackson will get the strikeout as a 1-2-3 inning. It remains 1-0 White Sox. has thrown some solid pitches here through the first 3 innings. Rios found out one of those. Ramirez threw the bat away. Jones just about threw himself away. A couple of strikeouts. And again, it's a pitching matchup. We've got 4 games here. That ball is shot up in the air. That's a tower shot towards third base. Shortstop as Torres will come in, and Quinton's retired on 1 pitch.
Well, you like that. Make a good pitch, get it out. Get
2 hottest teams
guy.
in average in August starting this series, and we've had 3+ games of great pitching.
And that's what good pitching does. It does stop good hitting. And we know the White Sox, they're one of the better hitting teams. 7th in runs, 4th in home runs. Red hot, getting the clutch hits, which the Orioles have done as of late, something that eluded them all year long.
A.J. Pierzynski with 1 down. And he'll take the pitch on the inside corner. He flied out to right field his first time up.
That left ankle's got to be a little bit sore, I imagine, from the other day when he kind of tripped over there at third base, but back in the lineup.
You're being kind. It's kind of a skid. Get it into third.
It's a very strange play. This is how he injured the ankle.
Yeah, he's lucky it didn't. It wasn't worse than what it was.
Yeah, that hit which should be a double, and he just should have slid and didn't. And of course that double, or he would have to leave the game. Gave the White Sox the lead. They'd go on to win.
He'll foul that one off, and Mattis gets ahead on the count 0-2 on Pierzynski. White Sox have had a 4-3 trip so far. Orioles hope to make it 4-4 as the Ozzie Guillen team will be heading back home again to try and make some hay against the Minnesota Twins. They're going to be in there. 0-2 count. And Pierzynski towards first base. Ball hopping up. Wigginton gets it over to Mattis covering, and they're 2 down. 2 away, 4th inning. Oriole Park, perfect setting for your next group outing. Still time this summer to gather up family, friends, co-workers, and even enemies. And enjoy a fun-filled night of Orioles baseball. Discounted ticket prices for groups as small as 15. Party facilities for up to 1,000. Camden Yards, great place to be. Come on out, see a ball game, have some fun. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com.
Looked like Steve Carroll over the rail.
Did it?
Yeah. He's here tonight. Steve Carell, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh,
not at the office?
Twin brother. No, he's not at the office.
Okay. Diane Viciedo. Viciedo is flying out to left on a fine play made by PA.
He might be having the press box with Peter Schmuck, though. Having dinner with Schmuck, which is the name of his new movie. It is.
Okay.
You got to
I'm listening.
I know. I'd hang on every word of yours, too.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, yeah.
The Babe Ruth of Cuba at the plate. That's what they called him when he was playing youth baseball in Cuba.
He put up the numbers for the Cuban national team over the years, certainly, as they start 16, 17 years old playing for the national team.
Yeah, and if you've ever played that national team, those guys can play. Of course, they're a lot older than we are. We're going to play. We played them, I think, 9 times in the summer of '88 with the Olympic year over there, and they beat us 5 times. We beat them 4 times. But you put an aluminum bat in a 30-year-old man's hands, and bad things happen sometimes if you're pitching against them. And they got some talent over there. Our average age was 21, and I think their average age was 29 at the time. So.
That's why it's kind of fun to see him play in the World Baseball Classic, because they finally get matched up against people their own age and experience-wise, pro players. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Viciedo with 2 down and nobody on. Mattis a fastball.
Did you trick him? I mean, what was your approach against the Cuban national team?
Just throw it as hard as I could every pitch, which is what I thought I had to do back then. But, actually, we beat them 12-1 the game I pitched against them. Threw a complete game against them. Struck out about 12 of them, but they could really hit them, and you had to be on your game to beat a team like that.
And Brian Mattis will get him. Well, Mattis gets the strikeout. That is his third, a 1-2-3 inning. As Mattis working along here, needing some runs now, down by 1.
Masson booth on Utah Street, signing autographs and meeting fans. Tonight's Orioles alumni were Larry Sheets, Ron Hansen, and Jimmy Williams. So next time you come out to Oriole Park on a Monday or Thursday, check out the Orioles Alumni Autograph Series. Gary?
That is a great time for fans. A great opportunity to meet some of the Oriole players, past and present. 1-0 lead here, and Markakis has flied out, only at bat. Rios got the RBI on a double in the third inning after Pierre came up and was hit by a pitch with one away, moved down to second on a ground ball out, and Rios drove him in. Edwin Jackson, the 0-1 delivery to Markakis. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Yeah, Nick took a look at Chris Guccione. He goes, you really need to give him a ball 2 inches off the outside corner?
One of those really looks. Yeah, he's already good enough.
Not that time, as that one's going to miss, and a 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Yeah, but you give Jackson a lot of credit, though. I mean, he is kicking the ball down in the zone. He's only in and out of thirds of the plate pretty consistently.
Well, Gary alluded, he doesn't throw many home runs, and that's why.
Yeah, I mean, he's always down.
Markakis with a 6 for 13 off Jackson now will foul the pitch away, and a 2 ball, 2 strike count on Nick. Orioles have been using a big offense here in August. Look at the average. In for the month of August, first. Runners in scoring position first. Runs fourth. On base second. Slugging second. 2-2 delivery on the way. And another one of those that just has the bottom drop out. And Markakis is gone.
That's almost one of those breaking balls. It just goes straight down. It doesn't really have any right to left. And it's just straight down.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. It didn't act like a conventional slider, but again, the tilt and Edwin's, it comes out of the Dodger organization. Everybody, when I first saw him in Tampa, I said, what an arm. But again, now starting to control this stuff.
Makes you wonder, like you said earlier, why do people keep getting rid of him? Why does he keep getting traded? It's stuff like that. It's amazing.
Fouled off by Ty Wigginton. Wigginton, a strikeout victim. My name's Wiggy, too. All right. Good. And we'll hope they don't throw you out of the ballpark for throwing the sign. All right, here's the 0-1 delivery. And Wigginton to third. He's got a base hit. Ty Wigginton, Wiggy, as he's known to his young friends, is on with a single here in the fourth inning.
Well, he Wiggy's the slider because, again, when you hang a slider and you got the fastball that Edwin Jackson has, the bat head gets out there a little bit quicker. The one thing about it, and we talked about how Wiggy has had this hot series, it seems like almost all the hits have been big ones. Now, that may not be that big, but it makes everybody think that, hey, we can get to this guy.
So Ty Wigginton is on at first base and hit it hard. Here's Luke Scott, grounded out his first time up. Scott 2 for 13 with a home run, lifetime off Jackson. Wigginton will not get much of a lead at first. He's not going anywhere, and that is in there for a strike to Scott. Luke now 3 for 9 in the series.
Well, that's what the Orioles are going to have to do, is take advantage when Jackson does make a mistake. They're going to have to make him pay for it. He hasn't made many of them so far tonight, but he did get that breaking ball up a little bit to Whittington. Of course, he hit it hard for a base hit.
No walks, 4 strikeouts for Jackson in the game. And Scott will take that one. 2 players in the Orioles lineup who hit a man apart here, and Scott and PA have got the largest difference batting average home and road this year in the American League. PA's difference is 124 points, and Luke Scott's is 122. Scott hits .344 in this ballpark and .222 on the road. And he'll take that one, and a 2 ball, 1 strikeout. Luke has liked it here, and the home runs as well, 15-5.
Of course, they have an advantage hitting here at this ballpark. Not that big of an advantage, but typically the ball carries well here.
Yeah, the record 14 and 40 on the road. So, of course, if they would hit like this and pitch like that, you wouldn't have that record.
That would turn around in a hurry.
Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way, and that's going to be into the corner. Ty Wigginton off and going. Jones over to get it. His throw coming into second base in time and gets the out. It'll be a single for Scott, but the second out will be recorded on the Andrew Jones throw to Ramirez.
Well, when we introduced him tonight, we had 10 gold gloves, and now you see why. They came in center field. But again, the play is in front of you. So when you hit it this hard and you play here, even the ball deads, look at this throw, though. Not a lot of speed, and it's a huge play. I don't know if he ever tagged him, but the throw got there so early. He got him in the chest. And
we talked about taking advantage of mistakes, and Luke Scott worked to count his favor. Got a 2-1 fastball, a little bit up, right down the middle of the plate, and hammered it to right field. But, boy, did Andrew Jones make a sweet play on that. He didn't hardly even turn it like he knew where second base was, and just came up and made a perfect strike.
That was another ugly slide. We looked at Brzezinski getting injured earlier. Luke Scott's lucky he didn't get hurt on that one. So now runner at third base, but there are 2 down. 1-0 lead for the White Sox. Orioles get their third hit of the ball game. They've actually out-hit the White Sox 3-2. Jones grounded out his first time up, and Adam will take it down low. And if you're Wigginton, you're going to get off that bag at third as far as you can with those 13 wild pitches on the board for Jackson. And he's bounced a few here tonight.
And you know what the pitch of choice to Adam Jones usually is. It is that breaking ball.
1-0 delivery.
Yep, there it is. And 2 in a row. Even though he did hit the slider the other night. A long, long way.
Tight ball game, as all 4 of these have been. So all these runner in scoring position situations have mattered for both ball clubs. Wigginton off third with a 2-0 count on Jones. 3-0.
Yeah, you can see that two-seamer coming. Yep. Brzezinski back there, as he wiggles his fingers, you can see him give the sign right before that. There's that two-seamer. Of course, wasn't trying to, definitely warranted in, not that far in, I don't believe.
Felix PA waiting on deck. A look over to Wigginton at third. And he takes it and will get the walk on 4 straight. First walk surrendered. First and third now with 2 down. Tonight's Maryland Lottery Hit It Here fan of the game is Tanya Cooper Johnson from Annapolis. If an Orioles player hits it here, I suppose a fan could do it too. Tanya, you're going to be $100,000 richer. Find out more how you can be the fan of the game. MDLottery.com/hit it here. Good luck, Tanya. Felix PA, first and third, and 2 down. PA singled. First time up, and will draw third baseman Viciedo in.
Yeah, I can't recall the last time Felix dropped a bunt down, but they're not going to play him off the line like he did last time. I'll tell you that, because there's a runner at third. So that extra out that you give the White Sox, huge.
2:22 runners in scoring position for PA this year. Jones on at first, Wigginton the lead runner. 1-0 lead for Chicago. We're in the 4th inning. And on Jackson. Here's the 1-0 delivery. PA left field. Pierre hits it away. No runs, couple of hits, no errors. 2 are left on base. It remains a 1-0 White Sox lead. anything possible. With Jim Palmer, Ben McDonald, and Theo Harris, I'm Gary Thorne on this beautiful night here in Baltimore. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought in one day these names would get grouped together? Garrett Anderson, a very fine Major League career, isn't over. He was designated for assignment by the Dodgers. Jay Gibbons, the former Oriole, out of baseball since '07. He's now back up, got a base hit last night for the Dodgers. Carlos Delgado is signed with the Red Sox, and they are ready to move him to first base as soon as he's ready to play for Kevin Youkilis, who's out for the year. 3 names you might not have thought would come up on the same day, especially in those contexts.
Yeah, the White Sox talked about Delgado, and their skipper said, I thought he was building houses down in Puerto Rico.
May have been.
Yeah, so now he's got some different kind of wood.
And they want him. The Red Sox want him to be ready in a hurry. They're going to rush him up. Mike Lowell, of course, is the one who's now getting some playing time with Youkilis out and playing well, but it certainly affects what they have on the bench. 0-2 delivery to Andrew Jones, and that'll just miss outside.
That's a good 0-2 pitch right there. I mean, that's one of those right on the corner, black, make a decision type pitch. Andrew Jones is up there, kind of get that smile on his face like he knows something we don't know.
1-2 delivery.
It always kind of scared me when I was pitching against guys that kind of grinned at me like that. You know, it didn't give you a good feeling. Although he struck out his first time up, but you could feel the wind from right here. I think he popped a vertebra in his back or something. He swung so hard.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way to him. And a roller off the end of the bat to his Torres. And Jones is retired. And there's one away here in the 5th inning. Chicago White Sox, we talked about the differential. You can see why they are better at home than on the road. Their batting average, distinctly different. Runs per game, different. The home runs, very different. And the ERA, considerably different. You put all of that together and you get enough that you're going to be a better home team, 33-20, than your 30-28 mark.
And the Orioles will be there in 2 weeks. They've won 20 out of the last 22 home games. That's quite a roll to be on.
Here is Brent Lillibridge. For the White Sox, the last 12 games on the road, they've averaged 3.92 runs. So that's down even further in the last 2 road trips than it has been on the year. 1-0 count on Lillibridge. The rain make it a right.
Yeah, you read the White Sox notes when they have a starter. We saw with Burley, they go right down and they will tell you what inning, what the batting average was, what the runs to the ERA. And for Brian Mattis, the 5th inning this year, the best, lowest ERA at 2.65. You talked about the first 3 innings, Gary, how he gives up 51% of his runs, and now all the pitches getting down where he was in his last start against the Angels, down by the ankles and knees.
And the pitch will be in there for a strike to Pierre, who scored the only run after he was hit by a pitch. Just nicked the jersey in the 3rd inning. He's been on twice with a single, and second time with that hit by pitch in the 3rd, scored in the Rios double. That's 1 walk, 3 strikeouts.
I think that's true for a lot of starting pitchers, though. Once they have an opportunity to kind of get their feet wet, they get through it, to kind of get the rhythm going. Because I can't tell you how many times, I know you went through it, the breaking ball wasn't there the 1st or 2nd inning, or the changeup wasn't there, but you keep throwing it in certain situations, you keep working it, and all of a sudden the 4th inning rolls around, and there it is. And you're off to the races with something else.
Is Torres off to the races here with a quick throw to get him in a really good inning. That's 7 in a row retired by Brian Mattis. White Sox still lead at 1-0.
He told me one of the toughest things about being demoted was not losing confidence, even though he said Andy McPhail was very good about communicating to him why the decision was made. They told him it wasn't about his performance and that he'd be back up here soon. But still, we saw Craig's numbers drop offensively when he went down to AAA after swinging the bat well up here in the big leagues. But he did tell me one of the positives of going down is that he had time to work on his throws every single day. When in the big leagues, he was only throwing out about 9% of the runners that were attempting to steal on him. That was very low considering the fact that he made this team because of his defense and his strong arm. So he's feeling much more confident about his defense coming back up to the bigs, Gary.
That's a great sign, and certainly his arrival and reducing the bullpen by one is something Buck Showalter has really wanted to get done. He was nervous with that short bench that he had and the inflexibility it presented. So he's happy to have that going. Orioles' Matt Wieters is going to lead it off, bottom half of the fifth inning. Wieters finished up last year hitting at 288 when all was said and done.
Yeah, he wants to put one of those finishes on, hitting 21 out of the last 29 last year, and he got that average all the way to 288. So home runs came up. Just seemed like a much more confident hitter. He's made adjustments. Wider stance.
1-0 delivery will be grounded to second base. Lillibridge has it. And one away. Wieters 0 for 2. His Torres coming up. He grounded out his first time up. Had a night to remember last night. Not only 2 for 3, but that first one was his 1,000th career hit. And the genuinely really liked teammate. I think congratulations of the fans and the team, and get the baseball to go home. Said he's going to give it to the boys. He had one of his sons who continued the countdown on a daily basis for him.
Yeah, Daniel, he said 8 more to go, Daddy.
Now he's got the ball. And a strike taken. Hitting at 246 is Torres with a couple of hits. 6 at bats in the series. Here's the 0-1 pitch to him, and that's going to be swung on and missed.
Yeah, well, that's 97 with great late life.
Yeah, that's not fair.
No.
97.
Well, that was Daniel Bard against the Yankees today.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah, one of those 97 running fastballs.
Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way, and his Torres, I think, swung. He did. He may get there, though. That ball died at the wall. No play. So it'll be a strikeout and a wild pitch, and his Torres is on.
You know it's a nasty pitch when the catcher can't even catch it. I mean, that ball.
Well, let's see if he gets all the way down, because you know with 2 strikes, that ball comes really right through his legs. Yeah. He never, ever got down, and not that it was an easy play, but that's why you practice. Better angle right here. Yeah, I mean, that ball pretty much out in front of home plate, so I'm sure A.J. thought it was going to bounce. But it's kind of like playing the infield. And, Gary, you talked about this earlier. You can always come up. You can't go down. But you don't, what do you have, about 1.4 seconds to think about it?
And he got caught up. Here is Bell. Let's see if the Orioles can take advantage of it now as they get the base runner on. 1-2-0 for the White Sox, 0-3-0. Each team has left 3 on base. Orioles have had only 1 runner in scoring position in the ball game, and the same is true for runners left for the White Sox. They, of course, have pushed 1 across.
Yeah, and we talked about why the Orioles have played well and done everything they need to do there in this streak here. They've also caught a few breaks along the way, too. And, of course, there's a big break. That doesn't happen every day. Ball gets by the catcher on strike 3. So got a runner at first base.
5 strikeouts officially now for Jackson. Bell with a ground ball out. 1 for 11 in the series. And takes that first strike. Josh has had only 3 hits in 23 at-bats in the month of August.
Yeah, still looking for that first home run. It'd be rather timely if he could catch one. Really good power, but a long swing. And, boy, when you get good pitchers, they're going to change speeds, and all of a sudden you seem like you're out in front, so you start waiting, and the bat gets a little bit slower, and like that.
Yep.
A lot of change-ups, and you've just seen it, and that's what trying to hit at this level is about.
That's 96 running away from you right there, you know. And, of course, Josh Bell has hit some homers in the minor league. You know, he's got the power. Like you said, his swing's a little bit long right now, and if he tries to cheat and get it going, of course, they get their off-speed stuff going on him, and he's in trouble again.
At first base is Torres, edging that lead off with Konerko holding. Bell will take it away for a ball. His job at third base very much on the line with the finish that he has to this season in the final 2 months, getting the first getting the chance for the first time to be the regular third baseman. And Buck Showalter has made it clear publicly and privately that show me what you got.
Yeah. Perfect. Last 2 months of the season. I'll get plenty of bats.
Count will stay at 2-2.
Yeah, see, that's a pitch in a bad spot right there. It's 2-2 breaking ball, and boy, he kind of hang it right there. Of course, Brzezinski's out to have a little chat, wants that ball down, just like the pitch he struck out. There's Torres on. Take a look at this. Wants it down, and look where it is.
Well, that's a home run pitch.
Yeah.
And
2-2, you got to do better than that. It needs to be below that.
Well, that's what we call reading the bat, and when you're late on the 95, you're going to usually be right on that 86, but he just missed it.
Jackson's having a pretty effective, efficient performance. Only 65 pitches for a pitcher who's known for throwing a lot.
Yeah, and got 5 strikeouts to go along with it.
Yeah. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way, and got him.
There it is. That's what he tried to do the pitch before that. A little bit better pitch, better tilt, better downward angle. See Bell swinging right over the top of that thing.
Orioles will be heading out for a 3-game set coming at Cleveland. It'll be Jake Arrieta, Justin Masterson starting tomorrow. Wednesday, Brad Ferguson and Josh Tomlin. And on Thursday, Kevin Millwood and Jeanmar Gomez. Those games are all night games at Cleveland. And that is taken for a strike. Cleveland Indians have had a year of struggles. They are 13th in average, 10th in home runs, 12th in runs, and 12th in ERA. They are last in the Central. Sin-Shu Chu has had a good season for them, and their sinker baller, Fausto Carmona, 11-9 and a real good 3.9 ERA. He is not going to be one of the pitchers in that series, fortunately for the Orioles.
Yeah, it is, and of course his name was prominently mentioned right before the trading deadline. Finally getting back, a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, he and Sabathia, 2 of the best pitchers in the American League. Eric Wedge, manager of the year, no longer with them. Well, everybody's gone, it seems like, except Manny Acta, who took over as a manager this year.
Ryan Roberts, 1-ball, 1 strikeout, runner at first, 2 down. He is the strikeout victim twice tonight. Yeah, Brian will take it, and that's going to miss.
Yeah, Jackson's got ahead of Roberts the first 2 at bats and threw that breaking ball down to kind of down and in toward his feet. And Roberts has swung over it both times for strikeouts.
Jackson pitches consistently with the numbers you'd expect. He gets ahead with that first strike, 226 average. He gets behind. It goes up to 295 after 1-0. Roberts in the air to right field towards the gap, and that will be hauled in by Jones. No runs, no hits, no errors, and Orioles will leave a base runner on. 1-0 White Sox. Leading the charge.
We've been making people make adjustments to some things we're doing now, as opposed to always, we want to be more proactive than reactive. Let's make them make adjustment to us. My experience is that when you make professional athletes operate at a speed or a level of uncomfortableness, they make more mistakes. And just trying to do some things to make them react to us. I want to be proactive instead of reactive.
Comments today before the ball game by the Orioles manager. Brian Mattis will work to Ramirez, Rios, and Konerko due up as we go to the 6th inning. Orioles out hitting the White Sox 3-2, but the Rios double in the 3rd, bringing home Pierre, still the only run on the board. Ramirez has struck out and grounded out and hit one hard to left. Pierre's not going to get that one. That'll take a hop off the wall, and that's going to be a leadoff double. Ramirez with a 4-game hit streak.
Well, he can hit the fastball. We saw that. He did off with Simone, and Kenny Williams, the GM of the White Sox, saw him in the World Baseball Classic back in 2006. He also defected. He played for the same team as Jose Canceres played for, $20 a week. And then he gets the big contract and comes to the White Sox.
Should have seen the cigar supply, though.
Yeah, well, that's true. But, with what, a 4-year deal at $8 million, he's probably can
buy all he wants.
Yes, he could. Yes, he could.
Runner on at second base, each team now with 3 hits. And here is Rios who got the RBI.
Yeah, again, he's just been hot in the series. Ramirez yesterday, you make a mistake, they got a pretty good lineup.
Yeah, on the top of it's really done the damage off Mattis. The bottom 6 guys not a hit. Top 3 are doing it.
1-0 delivery on the way, and a strike taken on the outside corner.
Well, you would imagine that Rios is going to, especially the way Jackson's pitching, he's got to take a shot to right field and make Konerko, who's coming up, be a better hitter. Get him to third base, get him in.
Rios with a 1-1 delivery to him. He's hitting .276 off lefties, .305 off righties this year. Orioles will get bullpen active for the first time. Navino up. He's been up in one other ball game.
Yeah, the pitch count, of course, it was 93 after 6 innings the last game, but again, it was one of those games you could coast through a little bit with 9 runs.
That ball broke the bat, but it'll get the runner moved up. Brian Roberts will make the play. Over to third base goes Ramirez with 1 away. Orioles Reach will be hosting the American Red Cross Blood Drive Saturday 8 to 4 on the club level of Oriole Park. You can meet Rick Dempsey, Boone Powell, enter to win a VIP experience complete with tickets to an upcoming game and a chance to watch batting practice in the field. All donors receive 2 free Oriole tickets and a Matt Wieters bobblehead. Reservations must be made in advance. Call 1-800-RED-CROSS to sign up. That is for Saturday from 8 to 4.
Well, you got to give Rios a lot of credit in that situation. Did a good job hitting the ball, to the right side of the infield, moving up Ramirez to third base.
So now to set up the potential double play and to get Konerko out of there and bring up Carlos Quentin, the intentional pass will be surrendered.
So I am sure, Earl Weaver would be sitting down in Florida going, well, that's why you don't hit him over, because you're going to do exactly this. But, of course, it's not like Carlos Quentin can't hit either. I just think it's sound baseball, especially with their bullpen. You give them a lead going into the 7th inning, as strong as that bullpen is, they're going to win a lot of games. So playing for 1 run usually is not a typical thing you do in the American League, but the way Jackson's pitching and the way you have your bullpen, I think it's ideal.
Yeah, if you're Ozzie Guillen sitting over there, you got to think eventually, Rios, Konerko, Carlos Quentin, AJ going to come through with a big hit. They hadn't done a whole lot of that this series. Orioles pitching has been outstanding, but if you go over the course of the season, these guys have put up the big numbers. The average not real high there for Quentin, but 22 homers and 70 RBIs.
And how about hitting .324 with runners in scoring position?
Right, so eventually it's going to happen.
1 down, runners on at first and third. Ramirez the lead runner, Konerko on at first base. And starts him out with a fastball up high for ball 1. He has walked and popped out. Konerko getting his 5th intentional pass of the season. Now Carlos Quentin trying to do some damage as looks for his 2nd hit of the series, 1 for 13 in the series. 1-0 delivery to him, and a check swing. Did he go? They'll check it first. Yes, he did.
And these are these big learning situations for a young pitcher with just a few starts on them. I mean, first and third, you're in a tight ball game. You know, a base hit right here, you may be out of the ball game. You get that ground ball double play, boy, it builds that confidence. Skipper gets confidence in you, and you're back out for another inning. So these, I mean, you learn every time you take the mound, but these situations are the ones that you really look forward to getting yourself into and getting out of these kind.
And Quentin has grounded into his shares of double plays here. He's hit into 11 of them. The White Sox have hit into a number of double plays, 100 and ground ball double plays, 104 coming in.
And you see right there from Brian Mattis, a little extra on that fastball.
Yeah.
Comfortably pitching at 88 all night, 91, and that's what we saw last year.
He has the ability to do that. You know, he's thinking one of two things, ground ball or a strikeout, one or the other.
He'll get the count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Carlos Quentin. White Sox have a chance to put a half a game more between themselves and Minnesota. It's only a half game. The Twins aren't playing. They have a day off today getting ready for the White Sox in Chicago. 2 ball, 2 strike count on Quentin. Ramirez off third, Konerko off first, 2-2 delivery. And that'll be bloop foul.
That's a good pitch right there. I mean, 2-2 just right, probably in off the plate just a couple inches, but that's just a perfect pitch right there.
Well, you had a chance to meet him today, and we were talking about him. I mean, for a young lefty at 23, he has the ability to pitch in better than most.
Yeah, and not only does he have the ability, he does it better than most. I mean, a lot of young guys will not pitch inside. They'll show you in off the plate and then go back away, but he actually throws inside for strikes.
2-2 delivery, tailing away, and got him.
That's huge right there. I mean, did a good job of speeding the bat up, coming inside with that first fastball. Then comes right back with a beautiful changeup. Look at that. I mean, right on the black, down. Just a perfect execution of 2 pitches right there. Fastball in, speed the bat up, slow it down with a changeup away.
Look, Showalter liking that, and there are 2 away. Now Przinsky up. Przinsky is flied out and grounded out. So far, the intentional pass to Konerko paying off. Only needs 1 more to get out of the inning.
Yeah.
Nothing White Sox lead.
And if he gets out of this, you talk about a confidence builder. I mean, these are the kind of situations that make you grow as a young pitcher right here.
Defensive signs going out. Przinsky, the 0 for 2 in this one, and 2 for 9 in this series against the Orioles. They will play behind the runner at first base with 2 away.
There it is.
And he gets the pop-up. First base. No. Look out. Matt Wieters came out and made the play. So no runs, a hit, and 2 are left on. It remains 1-0 White Sox. Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive 1. 1-0 ball game continues. A lot of discussion going on. Showalter congratulating him, and obviously that is coming out of the ball game with that.
And I think
the talk went on after.
The pitch count's at 100, but I think this is more about innings. He found out how well he can pitch under stress. First and third, had to get a couple of toughs. I don't know if he wants to lead. Probably not.
Yeah, you can see the look in his face. He's not happy right there. And we talk about him being a competitor. He is. That's one thing you do know about the young kid. If you talk to him, he's a competitor. He wants to stay out there.
Well, if the Orioles can get some runs here, even if he's coming out, they will be to his benefit. Nick Markakis has flied out, struck out Wigginton and then Scott. The Orioles have stranded 4. They've gotten only 1 to scoring position. That was in the 4th inning. Edwin Jackson has struck out 6 and walked only 1. Markakis behind on the count 0-2.
Yeah, again, Jackson has been so good. You thought you might get something going. Wigginton singled and Luke Scott singled, but they threw him out trying to stretch it into a double. And Edwin Jackson was able to get out of harm's way.
Well, it's been the good hard fastball, but he spotted it well. But that breaking ball is something you don't normally see. A breaking ball just goes straight down. It's not much right to left in it at all. It's almost reminded me of Juan. Remember Juan Guzman with the Blue Jays years ago? Remember his slider? Slider was just, it didn't have that right to left to it. It just boop, straight down,
And he used to lead very much like Jackson. He used to throw a lot of wild pitches.
Yes, he did. Same type of pitch. You swore it was like a split or a forkball. But it was a slider that just had that downward, straight down action, which is a little unusual.
Markakis battling here will fight it off to keep the count at 0-2.
Well, just think the dynamics of pitching. Don Cooper said we liked him because he has such a power arm. He's won 27 games. He can pitch into the late season. He can pitch in the postseason. So let's just keep him a little bit taller. And when you stand taller, you usually throw the ball downhill. So it makes total sense. And he's pitching exactly what they want him to do.
And there it is again. Ball will get away. Brzezinski kept it in front of him, though, and will get the out. So Markakis is the 7th strikeout victim for Jackson. He has struck out twice.
We know how good a hitter Markakis is, and he's just having trouble picking this ball up. That's twice now. That ball just gets there, it's there, and it's gone. Brzezinski does a nice job going to a knee right there and keeping that one in front of him.
Jackson has struck out as many as 12. That is his career high. Came against Florida this May. 1 down, Ty Wigginton up. Wigginton with a single. 6-game hit streak for Ty now. And he will take the pitch down low for a ball.
Yeah, Wigginton got a breaking ball. Slider his last time up. That one of the few mistakes Jackson has made tonight. Got it up in the zone and hit it in between short and third for a base hit.
1-0 delivery on the way. Wigginton in the air left field. That ball's back near the warning track wall. And goodbye! Home run! Ty Wigginton. And he has tied this ball game up at 1.
You could see that coming. That was another mistake. And we said earlier that the Orioles had to take advantage of Jackson's mistakes when he did make one. And that was a fastball that time. It was just left right out over the middle of the plate. Take a look at it right here. That's thigh high right down the middle, and the big fella didn't miss that one.
Our Ford Drive of the game, and your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford Drive one. Ty Wigginton did. He gets his 18th homer, his 60th RBI of the season, and the Orioles have tied the ball game at 1.
Yeah, those 17 of them off right-handed pitching.
And that's a strike taken. State Farm's going to donate $100 to the Wounded Warrior Project for every home run hit by the Orioles in the second half of the year. Now Luke Scott up. Scott with a single. Thrown out, trying to extend it to a double in the 4th inning. That's only the 14th home run surrendered by Jackson this season.
You can see why he doesn't give up many of them. He's typically down in the zone and away from the middle of the plate. But certainly a mistake right there to tie.
1-1 delivery on the way and a check swing. Did he go? Nope.
Well, Frank Robinson was the best that I saw when I played on the Orioles of holding up the bat. Luke Scott certainly does it as well as anybody because of the strength.
O'Hara will get up in the bullpen. One more would give Mattis a chance to be a winning pitcher in this ball game. Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way. Scott's going to get a base hit into right field. Well, Luke's got a 2-for-3 ball game, and there's only one away.
Yeah, that head cold's going to feel better. Didn't play yesterday because of it. Well, just a little slider. Then again, when you're that strong, you can go out and get it. That ball's down and away, and he makes it look like it's down the middle. And just drives it into right field.
Well, let's see if the Orioles can keep it up here in the 6th inning. 2 hits, 3 batters against Jackson. And Jones coming up. He has grounded out and drawn the lone walk surrendered by Edwin Jackson in the ball game.
Well, it's the 3rd time through the lineup for the Orioles to see Jackson, so they're starting to make some adjustments as well. They're seeing how that breaking ball breaks, how that fastball moves, the velocity of it.
Jones, another who has used the advantage here at Camden Yards this year, is Adams hitting .312 at home and .247 on the road. He does have more home runs on the road, 9 on the road, 7 at home. And a check swing that came in on him was fouled out. The Orioles trying to mount the comeback. There's Wigginton, who's given him the first shot. The home run here in the 6th with 1 away, bases empty. And now on with the potential go-ahead, Scott. Oh, 1 delivery. Adam will take it. There's been a homestand that has been filled with tight ball games and great pitching. Totally contrary to virtually the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Great point.
Even when the Orioles won, it would be generally scoring, the big 4+ runs, 6, 7, 8. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Jones will ground that to 3rd. Only plays at first, and Viciedo can't handle it.
And I'm not sure he'd have got him anyway.
No. Yeah, he played very well in the first game. On Friday night at third base, didn't hit well. But again, this is a guy that had all kinds of weight problems. He looks like he's thinned out, but it's not a routine play.
No, I don't think he gets him anyway. Jones runs pretty good.
I mean, he circles the ball. He does everything except get the handle on it.
They'll charge him with an error on it, maybe change later. But the Orioles now have runners on at first and second base and only 1 away with PA coming up. This will bring the first visit to the mound in the ball game. Now the Orioles got a chance to get on top here and a chance maybe to win and make 3 out of 4. The Orioles' best homestands this season, the current one, 5-1 against the Angels and White Sox. They had the Yankee-Red Sox series where they went 4-2 on the homestand. And then the Marlins, Washington, and the A's, a 5-4 record. But this is the one by far. Vic Verheer would make it 6-1 under Buck Showalter. And the Orioles are on the verge.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch, too, I tell you. They've done everything right.
Scott at second, Jones at first. And here's Felix Pie, who was singled and flied out. Jackson has given up 5 hits. Orioles out hitting the White Sox now 5-3. Ramirez will hold the runner close at second. Not a big lead for Scott. And PA fouls it back.
Yeah, that's still a pretty explosive fastball.
Yeah, still at
96.
96 up.
I mean, you think about it, the home run by Wigginton was a 2-seamer that he left up. He hadn't done that very night, and it was only 91. But when you add another 5 miles per hour, it's just hard to get the bat head to it, especially when it's up in the upper reaches of the strike zone.
Bear in mind, not a lot of speed on the base paths of the lead runner at second base. Pierre does not have an arm in left. That ball's hit to right. He has got an arm. Jones up, and Gary Allenson will hold the runner at third base. So PA comes through with a single, and the Orioles have loaded him up with 1 down.
Yeah, Orioles choosing not to run on Andrew Jones' arm there. He gets a slider, does PA.
Yeah, Ben, you pitched here, but this is such a small ballpark. It's very difficult to score, especially with the lack of speed at second, to ever score from right field.
Right.
Unless it's late in the ball game and you're going to make the right fielder make a perfect throw.
Yeah,
and look at that. Don Cooper goes, what was that? A little bit of breaking ball that stayed up. So the breaking balls that were down now are getting up. The fastballs that were down are also up, and you got a chance to break the game open.
Yeah, not only those breaking balls up, they're just sitting there. They're not doing a whole lot. Early in the game, for most of the game, they've had that good downward action to those breaking balls. And now they're just pretty much just sitting there and spinning, not a whole lot of action to them.
Matt Wieters, 3 for 7 with the bases loaded this year. Does not have a grand slam this season, but he does have 7 RBIs from bases loaded situations. They are loaded here, only 1 away. Wieters 0 for 2 in the ball game. And he'll foul it back. Oh, by far the Orioles' best chance. Only the second time in the game they have gotten a runner over to third base. Last time was in the 4th when Wigginton got there and was stranded.
Yeah, I mean, just a sacked fly right here gets you the lead. That's.
Yeah, and the other day the Orioles had Gavin Floyd, who would go on to win a 4-2 ball game where he got Matt Wieters to bounce into double play with runners at first and second.
Right.
So PA down at first is an important runner because he's got an opportunity to break up the double play.
0-1 delivery to Wieters will miss
if there is a ground ball.
I think Brian Mattis right now is hanging tough on this one.
Well, I was looking at the numbers, and in his, other than the 9 runs in his last start, in the previous 12, they got him 22.
Right.
So he would take anything they can get him right here.
And last year was totally opposite. He got a lot of runs support last year, and then this year's been just a different story.
Scott, Jones, and PA get their leads. Here's the 1-1 delivery. And that's going to miss down low, and Wieters gets the count 2-1.
And Jackson in a similar situation as Mattis was last inning. He's thinking right in this situation, ground ball or a strikeout.
And it's harder to do that when you fall behind the hitter.
Yes, it is. Now you just got to make a good quality fastball pitch, probably down in the zone, knee high, and hope for a ground ball to one of the middle infielders.
Here's the 2-1 delivery to him, and no place to put him. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 down, bases loaded. Don Cooper over there just taking deep breaths, as is Jackson now. Only his second start for the White Sox, so they're just getting to know one another.
And they know that he can get wild. His no-hitter, as we mentioned in the opening, walked 8.
Here's the 3-1 delivery, and Wieters down to first. There's 1, and they're going to tag him, and he's safe. Tried to do it backwards on Konerko. Once he got that out at first base, didn't have a forced play, and the Orioles have a 2-1 lead.
Well, that just was a mistake right there by Konerko. See this ball, fastball, misses that one, sinker, down. Another fastball down. Goes 3-1, 95. And has to throw it pretty much down the middle. Wieters hits it hard to Konerko. Konerko should have come home with the ball right away. Tries to step on first, but just too late. No way for Krasinski to make the tag at home plate.
Wieters will be credited with the RBI on that on a fielder's choice. His 35th of the year. It is a go-ahead and gives Brian Mattis a chance to be the winning pitcher in this ball game. Runners at second and third now for Izturis with 2 down. Down to first and foul. So 1 error has helped keep the inning alive, and 1 perhaps mental error on Konerko's part, not going home to at least get the out at the plate.
And how big a hit would this be? Now all of a sudden you have speed. It's 2 outs. You're running on contact. A lot easier to score regardless of where the ball goes. The runner at third is going to score. Jones he's only 90 feet away, and PA with great speed at second.
Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that will be foul back. Warm-up action, double barrel. Sale we've seen, the youngster making his debut here, Sergio Santos.
Infielder last year, one of the back end of their bullpen guys this year.
And 0-2 count with 2 down. Izturis trying to get Jones and PA in. Jackson, the 0-2. And that'll be outside and boxed by Brzezinski.
Brzezinski staying busy tonight, isn't he? That breaking ball down for the most part. Let one get through his legs.
He just barely caught that. That one went straight down.
And that's the good action that Jackson's had on his breaking ball for the most part tonight, although a few of them have been left up and not doing a whole lot. There it is, just downward. Almost backing up, if you will.
1 and 2 and a timeout. Brian Mattis already is added to the numbers. The Orioles now have 7 consecutive quality starts. It is the first time since 2003. The Orioles have had that. Down to first. Konerko on the fair ball will go to the bag himself. But the Orioles get 2 runs in. It started with Ty Wigginton, who delivered his 18th home run. Then a fielder's choice RBI by Wieters, and it is 2-1 O's. To you by Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Celebrate the world we share. Just another real good ball game where the fans really had some great games to watch here in this homestand with a chance to go 6-1. Konerko came off trying to explain why he tagged the bag and then threw home, and not a lot of receptive ears over there.
Like you said, I don't think anybody's buying it. Talking to Joey Cora right there. Wondering what had happened was things, but, you know, he thought he could get Luke Scott. Luke came home from third base, got a good jump on it, you know, and he thought he could tag first and maybe make the play at home plate. But in that situation, you know, it didn't turn out good as they let the go-ahead run come home.
Yep, so Koji comes to the rescue, hopefully. 1 earned run in his last 10 2/3 innings, and out of the bullpen, he's been for the Orioles, once he got the legs well, about as good as anybody. And the sideburns, it's going to be sideburn night in September.
Sooner than later.
Yep.
Dan Viciedo as Uehara gets him swinging. He has flied out, struck out. He committed the error at third base in that last half inning on a tough call. It resulted in one of the runs being unearned in the inning. Viciedo will take that one for a strike.
That's just what Koji did the other night, you know. You see Konerko, he's still trying to, well, you know.
He's listening now.
AJ's still, AJ's still not buying it. See Burley over there just chewing his gum, minding his own business.
Wow. This is the way Uehara's been pitching.
Yeah, I mean, it's fastballs, and it's not like it's 95. He hides the ball well. The ball has some hop to it. See it at 89 miles an hour, which is about where he maxes out, but that ball is just...
Well, he has done exactly what they envisioned once they realized that his durability and his conditioning wasn't good enough to start, because he pitched some really good games for 4 or 5 innings, and then the pitch count got him. So when healthy, he can be effective.
Here's Andrew Jones, the rainmaker in the silo here.
Come on, Josh.
And, oh, what a play! That is so tough for a catcher, and for some reason, Josh Bell didn't call him off and should have.
That's twice, yeah.
Yeah, I think that he was ready to catch it. I'm not sure Wiggy was able to catch it, but, Buck Showalter, and this won't happen next spring because this will be, go ahead, Josh, you're going to be the third baseman, catch it.
Right.
And that's a terrifically difficult play and very well executed by Mr. Weeder.
Yeah, a couple innings ago, we saw him go to the right side over there towards first base and make a play.
Such an easier angle, yeah.
Yeah, you don't see the catcher out that far. A lot easier, a lot better angle for the infielder.
2 quick outs and a pop-up. How about that? That's what you want after you've just gotten the lead. Koji O'Hara retires the side in order. 7th inning stretch time owes up. Brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly.
Really 1-0 lead. Mattis pitching very well, getting great defense, making a lot of good pitches. Ty Wigington, home run number 18 to tie it up 1-1, and then with the bases loaded, an error, a walk, and a play that Konerko thinks he'll be able to get Scott, but again, the good lead by Luke Scott. He scores the second run to this point as Jackson will leave, Mattis will leave. Mattis a little bit better, even though Jackson pitched extremely well tonight. And in comes Chris Sale, young pitcher. He was their #1 draft choice back in June of 2010, this year.
Yeah, not too long ago. He's already in the big leagues. Made his major league debut just a couple games ago.
So Sale will come on as the 2 starters out of there, and both of them are the pitchers of record at this point. Sale got brought in a very tight situation when the White Sox are trying to come away with a division championship. Sale got his major league debut in the game. The Orioles won 2-1 in the opener and came on to pitch in the 8th inning. He did not get anybody out in the appearance as he walked Roberts and gave up a single to Markakis and then came out of the ball game.
Yeah, the 13th, the guy picked out of Florida Gulf Coast University, and kind of like a Ben McDonald out of LSU. 11-0, 2.01 ERA. You probably didn't give up that many runs. Only 14 walks and 146 strikeouts in 17 games. So they get him. We saw him. Came in, the first pitch was 96.
Yeah.
He throttled back, but he faced 2 batters, and they both reached the other night.
Sale had to wait. Brzezinski had a long discussion with the home plate umpire when he came out about that play at the plate. I'm not sure what, but he's still having it.
Yeah.
He started this when he came out. Sale was standing on the mound waiting to warm up, and Konerko's having one with the first base umpire about the play.
Evidently, something's going on we didn't see. I don't know if Konerko thought somebody got in his way or.
Well, the bat was laying right at home plate. That's the only.
Yeah.
Or maybe Konerko's saying, don't you think I should have gone first and home? And
that's the bottom line.
And Brzezinski's saying, wait, don't you think he made the.
The bottom line is no matter if the bat was there or not, to play with the tying run or leading run coming home, you go ahead and you throw it to home, you get the lead out.
You would think.
In any event, it's the bottom of the 7th.
That's what we were taught anyway.
Here is Josh Bell. Bell's had an 0 for 2 in the game. Then the top of the order will be up in Roberts and Markakis. Orioles would dearly love to add a run here. This White Sox team has homered in 7 consecutive games. They've not had one in this one yet, and they get guys who can hit them who are going to be coming up. Fouls it back at a 2-strike count. Sale only pitched 10 1/3 minor league innings. That's it. And now here he is. Opponents at 162 off him. He struck out 19. That's going to be caught by Jones. Well, Jones looks like he's ready to be
Yeah.
Everyday ball player
23.
again, isn't he? Join Orioles Reach Masson and Brian Roberts on Sunday, August 22, 6 to 9, 5th annual Brian's Baseball Bash, University of Maryland Children Benefit. It'll be at Dave & Buster's in the Arundel Mills Mall. Silent live auctions will be held, and all to benefit the children. Individual tickets, $200 for adults, $150 for the kids 12 and under. You can get information at 410-328-3637. Here is Roberts, who's had an 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Brian on the foul tip for strike one.
A totally different pitcher, and then back into the mid-90s.
Yeah, 96. Everybody throws 96 now.
Well, this bullpen.
Yeah.
And they do. That may be the low part of the totem pole.
Yeah, we saw Pena come in a couple nights ago. My gosh, not even one of their top relievers down there. And he's got the nasty 3-2 splitter he threw a couple times and touching 96, 97. My gosh, you get into Thornton down there. JJ.
That'll be outside, and a 2-ball, 1 strike count to Roberts in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
Well, the one thing, a lot of times you come up, Chris Sale, I met him after that first performance. He said, I was nervous. And he said, I got to get better. And he said, I was all over the place. And he was.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you come up.
How can you not be? When you come straight out of college and a couple of months later, you're in the big leagues.
Yeah, really?
At 21 years old, I can remember those days. And I tell you what, it's like you're floating out there. It's hard to calm your emotions. You're quicker. You rush. Your delivery isn't as sound as you want it to be.
2-2 delivery on the way, and he'll go full. In his limited minor league, he struck out 19 and 10 in the 3rd innings, gave up 6 walks.
Yeah, Isaac Ian took a picture. They showed him the film. He goes, why isn't he up here? And now he is.
Ozzie rules, foul back. I got to give Ozzie, I told Ozzie, talking with him before the game today, I want to give him some credit. He took some heat last week, comments made about Hispanic players compared to Japanese players, but a point that got missed. Ozzie said, nobody's talking about the steroids and performance-enhancing drugs Latino players are taking except me. Major League Baseball's not doing enough. And Brian Roberts gets the walk. And, in fact, the numbers support him on one thing. The number of players being suspended this year for performance-enhancing drugs is predominantly Latin American players. And Ozzie said, somebody's got to get on this besides me. And he's right about that. And I said to Ozzie tonight, I said, if Major League Baseball asked you to go visit Latino players in the offseason and talk to them face-to-face about not using performance-enhancing drugs, would you do it? He said, all they got to do is ask me and I'm gone. Well, and I think he'd be a great spokesman to do that.
Absolutely.
Because the kids listen to him.
Well, yeah, they certainly do. And, of course, you read all the stuff. They say, oh, well, they're just taking over-the-counter supplements and they're in there, which I don't believe for a minute. I think it's a lack of knowledge, and you need Hispanic players, role models, to go down there and tell them that, because we all understand they want to get out of the Dominican and Ozzie from Venezuela, because that's the way to make a living and support your family.
The only way.
Yep.
That pitch will be taken down low.
And he made another point, Viciedo at the third base, again, about his not understanding and coming over at 21. He said during the All-Star game, he ended up in Wichita when they were supposed to be in Minnesota, and he handed the phone because he didn't speak to a guy, and he said, well, got to get on another plane and come to Minnesota. Went to the wrong city.
Wow.
1-1 delivery on the way down to first base. Let's try it again. Now he's got him caught in a rundown. Ramirez, and he'll tag him out. So they end up getting the double play. Canerco was going to make that work one way or another.
Yeah, he got that one right.
Tag first and got the rundown, 2-1 O's. league. 1949, it was one DiMaggio to another. Dom had a 34-game hit streak that ended with a line drive catch by his brother, Joe DiMaggio, in the game in 1949. And in 1988, the Cubs, they played their first ever official game at Wrigley Field. Official is important there because they were supposed to have played it the night before. They started it and it got rained out. So the next night against the Mets became the official game.
And you know what happened on that night in 1949?
What?
That's when Joe said, "Take that, bro." That's when
That's where that term came from?
That's exactly.
See the things you learn by listening to our broadcast.
1949.
1949, bro became a term.
By the DiMaggios.
That's right. Dom, what a great player.
Oh.
Probably always under-recognized because of his brother. Here's the 1-0 delivery to Pierre as we go with Uehara pitching here in the 8th inning.
Well, he's going to get a good pitch to hit here because you can walk a double or more with his speed.
Just a one-run ball game. Pierre looking to get on any way he can. Will take the strike.
Yeah, Pierre got on by hit by pitch in the 3rd inning. Of course, scored the only run for the White Sox.
Here's the 2-1 delivery to him. Uehara will miss with that one. So the count goes to 3-1. Pierre has extended his hit streak 16 games now. 1 hit in each game of the 4-game series here in Camden Yards so far. Uehara lays that one in there, 3-2.
Now that's what you got to do. Just lay it right in there. I think he only has 1 homer on the year, does Pierre. So,
well, Koji was a closer in Japan back in 2007. Had 32 saves.
3-2.
Come on, boys.
Get it. This is a big out. And it will be handled by Bell. So Bell let one go that he should have caught. He caught that one that probably should have gone to somebody else.
Yeah, you would have thought everybody, P had a better angle. Historis usually has a better angle because you're already shifted to left. So this is a really difficult play. And
well, I'm sure it's one of those things when Bell got in the dugout last inning, he probably got an earful about, hey, you got to go catch that ball, and so he's going to get everything now.
Now he's going to come back and they say, well, not that one.
Yeah, not that one. Now you caught that one up against the wall in that field.
But it's an out.
It's an out. 1 away. Here's Ramirez, a double and 3 times up. Ramirez has got a 4-game hit streak now.
See, Koji's the type of guy, Gary, and from you saw him pitch last year, if you want to match him up with guys, good fastball hitter, he'll throw him a slider. He'll throw him a splitter. He'll even hang a slider and get it out. Yeah.
This is going to be to short. And there are 2 down. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the choices. Brian Mattis, a chance to be a winner. Run on 3 hits over 6 innings for him. Jackson, the opposing starter, 2 runs, 1 earned, 6 hits over 6 innings. And Ty Wigginton, a big night tonight. He has singled and homered. The home run in the 6th inning, the one that tied it up. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 518-62. Rios, the RBI double.
He's gotten 5 outs. We haven't seen a split-fingered fastball yet. And that's unusual.
Yeah. Nothing but fastballs.
There's another one. And these are the fastball hitters. That's the amazing.
Yeah.
This is about a guy that can throw the strikes. And, you great mate. We were talking about it after he came in the other night. He's got that little hop. So he's sneaky. 89 doesn't look like 89 if you're at home plate with the bat in your hand.
Yeah, like you said, he hides the ball a little bit. It's got that hop to it. It's very deceiving.
That's going to be to the middle. It's run down by his Torres running through, and a nice pick. Tremendous defensive effort. Is Torres and Wigginton combined to make it a 1-2-3 inning as Wigginton continues to pick for the best of them. Buck Showalter congratulating Coach Uehara. Another very solid outing. 2 innings, 6 in a row, retired. Find the latest gear at the official online shop of the Orioles. Browse the largest selection of official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more for the whole family. You can shop 24/7. Get your gear from the official source, theorioles.com shop.
Well, Sergio Santos and Don Cooper, pitching coach, because he just started pitching last year. As a matter of fact, only 26, actually make it 28 in 2/3 innings. He said he's never, ever seen a guy, and he was rated with the best fastball in their minor league organization, come this far with his other pitches. It's just never been heard of. So he throws in the mid-90s. Maybe in the upper 90s, and then he's got a slider and changeup to go with it, and he can control them.
Santos, the right-hander, will come on for Sale, who worked an inning and gave up a walk, but faced only 3. As the Orioles will try and put it 1 or more up on the board here in the 8th inning with Ty Wigginton, Luke Scott, and Jones due up to take on Santos. Santos, as last outing came against the Tigers. That was on the 5th, 4 days ago. He's had 8 straight appearances and 12 in a row without allowing a run. Wigginton, the homer, a single, and he has struck out. 6-game hit streak. Ty will take it outside. 262 for him, 18 home runs now, and 60 runs batted in.
Out of Bellflower, California, #1 draft choice at the end of the first round back in 2002 as a position player with Arizona.
1-0 delivery to Wiggy, and that'll be inside.
And it would be nice to get some more runs. They had a couple.
Just another outstanding ball game here with the division-leading White Sox and the resurgent Orioles. The starters had a 1.94 in this homestand coming in, and Brian Mattis did nothing to hurt that.
Yeah, get another quality start.
Quality. Even more than quality.
Yes.
Put a star by this. And the most impressive thing is the 6th inning with 1st and 3rd.
Yeah.
Able to get out of that inning and keep the score at 1-0. The Orioles would come back the next and tie it up in the bottom of the inning.
That's the big confidence. It's almost at us.
That's one thing. At least you're here, Ben, to protect us, because Karen, the warden up here, she took one off the arm last year.
Did she really?
You're sitting where she normally sits, so beware.
Well, she's tucked in back behind me. I guess that's for a reason. Yeah.
She's smart enough. She adjusts.
Yeah, she's hiding.
She's a pro.
She went on the DL.
She adjusted. 2-2 delivery on the way. Wigginton drives it to right. Jones back. And Wigginton is retired. 1 away in the 8th. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Orioles leading it, trying to take 3 out of 4 against the White Sox. We're in the 8th inning. Luke Scott, 2 singles, a run scored. He is 2 for 3 in the ball game. Brian Mattis with a chance to win his 5th. It would be the first time this year that Brian Mattis would have back-to-back wins, as he's coming off the victory against the Angels. 1 away, and the pitch will be taken away for a ball. Oriole pitchers over the last 2 years have held this White Sox team to a .238 batting average over the last 2 years. Only Toronto has done better against the White Sox. A real good offensive team. 1-0 delivery down to first. Konerko's got that one. 2 down.
Man, it'll be amazing if the Orioles can hang on. It'll all come down to that ground ball to Konerko, where he thought he could tag first and then get the non-force, the tag out at home plate.
Yeah, I'd like to know what all the talk is about between the umpires, him and Brzezinski, Konerko, talking to the umpires, see what it's all about. You know, I don't know what happened on that, other than looks like to me he thought he could do it, and it didn't work out.
Simone, as you saw, he's ready. He's been up throwing for on a night like tonight, hot and humid. Shouldn't take too long. Did give up the home run to Ramon Castro.
You are at that point in the season when you're talking about those kind of plays that Konerko tried to make, where you know you may have to think about that all winter if things don't go right.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that negatively towards Paul, but they're in a race, and they think this thing's going to be 1 or 2 games, and they're at a point now where every single play and every game matters.
It's the little things, you know. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but you know, those could be the difference in a game out. You know, 2 games out at the end.
That's going to be inside.
Well, that's the amazing thing about baseball. I think the teams that have been there before understand a game in April is as important as one in September or August or whatever. And even though it may not seem like it, it's for a lot of teams it's hard to turn it on and off. Yeah. I mean, you know, he was quoting the paper. You really got to grind it out in August, and he's doing that. But again, he made a decision that he'll probably regret if they don't come back. And again, he won't be the first guy that thought he could do something and couldn't quite do it.
And it's never one play or one game. But you don't want to have to think about that over the off season. I always loved Bobby Cox in his last year, of course, with Atlanta. Bobby used to makes that point every year to guys. When April comes and that first game starts, drive this train as hard as you can and pile these W's up right now. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And Jones, he's going to get a base hit. So Adams on. That's a 6-game hit streak he extends with that single.
Well, 97, and then you come back with a slider. And again, you execute it. That's what he swung at first. So Adam makes a nice adjustment, gets a good pitch to hit. And again, he's been red hot in the month of August. This whole lineup.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to get Brian Roberts. He's going to get his at-bats. He's going to get more comfortable. And all of a sudden, if the pitching stays, I don't know if you can say as good as it is, but if it stays consistent, they're going to be a much more formidable ball club.
Well, yeah, like Gary said earlier, the Orioles are finally getting that lineup on the field that they thought was going to be there, you know, opening day and the rest of the year.
The A's fly ball will be handled by Rios. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. 3 outs away from a victory and a series win. Simone coming on. Grab your bag, it's on. And by Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. Bring your Green Turtle receipt to the Orioles box office for a buy one, get one free ticket offer for any non-prime game. Who drew the smiley face on my copy? Oh, Karen. Sorry. All right, Alfredo Simone comes on to try and wrap this up.
Yep, well, it doesn't get any more difficult than this. Heart of the order. And again, he came in yesterday, and you know, he's got 17 out of 20, but yesterday came in and gave up a base hit to Ramirez and then a home run to Ramon Castro. So Konerko, Quentin, and then Krasinski. Who knows later on if you'd like to think that, again, his stuff is good enough to get anybody out, but sometimes he just leaves balls in the middle of the plate. And there's no better fastball hitter on this team than Konerko, who's going to lead it off.
So, as we say, baseball is great theater. And if the dramatic is to be played out, Paul Konerko would like to have a little redemption for the play made earlier. Konerko has had an 0 for 3, 0 for 2 in the ball game and drawn an intentional pass. And Konerko takes it in the air to left field. That is back near the wall. And redemption. Goodbye home run. Paul Konerko delivers the homer and ties this game at 2 on the first pitch from Simone.
Maybe that's what he was telling his teammates in the dugout. He said, hey, I'm going to make up for this. And boy, did he ever. He got a first pitch fastball, middle in from Simone. Watch this. And boy, he does not miss it. You guys mentioned it, Jim. Good fastball hitter. He gets the head out right there. Hits that thing a ton to left center field.
And you know why Alfredo possesses other pitches. You have to hit off the fastball. So again, good fastball hitter, good pitch to hit, bad combination for the Orioles.
So the Orioles comeback that gave Brian Mattis a chance to be the winner is that part of it's gone. So both starters are now non-decision. And a brand new ball game. 9th inning, 2-2. That's only the 4th hit picked up in the game by the White Sox, and they now have homered in 8 consecutive games as Konerko gets his 28th to tie it up.
And it doesn't get any easier here. And you know, we're not suggesting, because both Ben and I threw a lot of home runs, but when you throw a fastball to a fastball hitter and you don't make your pitch, which is the case, they're going to have good swings. Doesn't always go out of the ballpark.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if it's 95 or 96. You know, you don't need more spot. Yeah, that's right.
3 ball, 1 strike count on Quinton.
And it doesn't really get easier as this lineup gets down there, because this guy, as Ben talked about, hit a slider right over the center field fence, hit it about 430 to straightaway center, so incredibly strong. And now he'll get to look for a pitch in his zone because the count's 3-1.
3-1 delivery on the way, and that's there. Simone has now given up runs in 6 of the last 10. ERA of 7.59 in those games. Opponent batting average 341. Foul back and an on-base percentage of 396. Those are numbers that are going to cost you the closer spot.
Well, it really is, and it's not confusing, because we talked all year long. 15, 16 months ago, he had Tommy John surgery. He's never done this, so you're going to find out, can he make quality pitches? Because the league is ready for 95 in the middle of the plate.
Yeah, they're seeing it every night.
Saw it today, yeah. So again, if you want to get a little bit better, and he's made strides. I think his windup's a lot better than it was earlier in the year. But again, does that allow you to make the kind of pitches you need to do to be successful in the 9th inning, especially with 1-run saves?
Yeah.
It's not that anybody can come in and get a 3-run save, but the 1-run ones are very difficult.
His 4th blown save of the year, and follows that up with a walk to Carlos Quinton. So we're in the 9th inning and nobody out and a runner on. Let's update you in the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. The results so far. You still have time to text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 51862. The results on the Ozark Strip postgame show.
And you make a great point, because you did sign Gonzalez, who's warming up in the bullpen, to be your closer. So eventually it is his job to lose. It's kind of what the White Sox talked about. If Jenks doesn't get the job done, they'll go to somebody else. And they have a lot of options over with the White Sox.
Nobody out. Runner at first base showing bunt. Does he mean it? As Pazinski stands in, he's had an 0 for 3 in the ball game. Isiedo is due up behind him. Will they play for just the go-ahead run here in the top of the 9th inning? He puts it out there, and that's going to miss, and the count's going to go to 2-0.
Well, if they're trying to give you an out, you've got to throw a strike and take that out.
Well said.
You know.
Oriole pitching staff has surrendered the most home runs of any team in the American League this year. They've given up 132 compared to the 95 the Orioles have hit.
And now you get to 2-0, you don't know if he's bunting.
Right.
Yeah. I still would imagine he is.
Might let him swing away right here.
The Skells come out to pinch hit on deck. He did try and bunt that one and missed it. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
That might have been a ball, too. That could have been 3-0.
Pazinski has 4 sacrifices this year. Going to keep Bell in at third base. Carlos Quinton on at first. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Squares, drops it. That's a good one. Simone's got to play it, and we'll get it there in time to Brian Roberts. Sacrifice. Quinton to second base, 1-0.
Nice job by A.J. right there, getting that bunt down. Moving Quinton up.
And now Omar Vizquel will come on as a pinch hitter. Viciado out of there. He did not have a hit in the ball game. He went 0 for 3. Buck Showalter, as soon as the announcement is made, wants the ball. And that will be it for Simone. And Gonzalez will come on. A home run by Konerko has tied the ball game up. 1 down, runner at second in the 9th.
Very, very well. Got 5 outs earlier on in game 1, so he comes in, velocity back, good breaking ball back. Let's see what he can do here.
Runner at second, Omar Vizquel, and the pitch is taken down low for a ball. Gonzalez, since coming off the DL, has pitched 8 in the 3rd innings, 2 earned runs. This is his 9th appearance since being activated on the 21st of July. 1-0 delivery. Up high, 2-0 to Vizquel. Vizquel working as a pinch hitter here has had an 0 for 1, only 1 at bat as a pinch hitter, but a very solid 293 on the year. Vizquel will take it, and it's 3-0. Andrew Jones due up next. Four in a row, missing. That does, of course, set up a potential double play with 1 down here. Jones has popped out, struck out, and grounded out. 2 walks and a home run in the inning.
Yeah, nothing to show for him. I tell you what, he's had some good swings tonight.
Yeah, about 40 points higher against lefties than righties. More power against right-handers. There's a lot more at bats, 6 home runs against left-handed pitching. Yeah, I think that when you're Mike Gonzalez and you have some experience, either you make your pitches with Vizquel with the potential going ahead and run, or you walk him. Take your chances here.
He has faced Jones before. Jones is 1 for 2 with a home run off him. Walk and a strikeout against Gonzalez.
It just seems tonight, and Andrew, of course, he's hit over 50 home runs, over 40 home runs. It just seems like he's got a pretty good idea. And you mentioned not playing that much. It's not really swinging wildly.
Until there, tremendous right field. Strike called by Brian Honora.
Well, that's it. The worst he's looked right there on a good breaking ball down, but he's had some really good swings. Yeah, he definitely went on that.
1 ball, 2 strike count, 1 away. Quinton on at second base. Vizquel on at first. Game tied. 9th inning. That one sails way up high. And the count will go to 2-2. Notice how Gonzalez comes way off the mound if he wants to put that finger up to the lips, because he got called earlier in the season on that, or a balk. And got him to go after one, and a good stop made by Waiters. 2 down.
Now the ability to get it close enough to get a very aggressive hitter. We've seen that all night. Chase.
That's right. It all started because he got that breaking ball over for strike one, and showed Jones that he could throw that breaking ball for a strike. Of course, with 2 strikes, that's pitching. You expand the zone, throws the same pitch, but it's down in the dirt this time.
Now Brent Lillibridge. Lillibridge batting ninth, has had an 0 for 3 in the ball game and 0 for 10 in the series, even though he's hitting real well on the year, and he will take that for a strike. Only his 32nd game.
Well, how about 8 for 16 against left-handed pitching? That's a pretty good number.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I might have to think limited at bats because this got called up.
2 on, 2 down. Lillibridge out in front.
Of course, I'm not sure that the other 16 at bats, the guy had as good a breaking ball as Mike Gonzalez. Right. I mean, this is the Mike Gonzalez that the Orioles thought they were getting. A guy with 93 to 95 and a very good slider.
Yeah, and the slider he can throw for a strike, and the one he can bounce in the dirt.
Simone watching. He gave up the homer to Konerko, responsible for Quinton at second. Here's the 0-2 delivery.
Pretty good idea right there.
Yeah, a little two-seam fastball down and away just off the plate. See, he shook to it twice. He finally get it. Now he might come right back to the breaking ball.
One-two delivery. Waiters again blocking. Lillibridge not biting on it, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Well, that ball doesn't have a chance to get by Matt Wieters.
Orioles had the 2-1 lead coming in. Konerko delivered the homer, his 28th of the year. Tied the ball game up. Quinton got the walk, sacrificed Pierzynski. Walk to Vizquel. Jones struck out. Now at 2-2 with 2 down. Lillibridge towards the hole. Played to second for the force out by Torres. So the homer will be the one, but it's enough to tie this game up. Bottom of the ninth, 2-2.
Bottom of the ninth, and as disappointing as that Konerko home run was, it's still a tie game. All the Orioles need to do is score, and they get the win.
Well, they did. They gave it up in the ninth inning, but they still have a chance to come back and win this ball game, and Orioles starters continue to impress. Another beautiful outing by Brian Madden.
So lower third of the lineup is coming up. We're sending it back to the booth. Let's rejoin Gary, Jim, and Ben.
All right, Jim, thanks very much. There's your line, 2-7-0 for the O's, 2-4-1 for the White Sox. And coming out of the bullpen is Matt Thornton.
Yeah, again, the All-Star actually was the losing pitcher in the All-Star, but we saw him the other night, 95, 96, 98 on occasion. Look at that, 15 walks. It doesn't walk a lot of guys. Less hits than innings pitched and 57 strikeouts. So another guy that's capable of closing. He's got 103 career holds.
Yeah, that's almost a 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. That's unbelievable. Saw him a couple games ago, and he's got that unbelievable fastball as well. I mean, 94 up to 97 or 8.
And you got the Steve Carlton slider to go with it.
Omar Vizquel will stay in the ball game. He'll be playing at third base. And the veteran where he's played most of the year. It'll be Wieters as Turris and Bell due up to face Thornton. We're in the bottom half of the ninth inning. Thornton has a streak running right now of 21 straight scoreless innings. Scoreless outings that cover 17 innings. Wieters in the ball game. RBI and a ground ball out. Look like it might be a game winner. Gave the Orioles a 2-1 lead at the time. The Orioles get their other one on a home run by Wigginton. And Wieters on the big cut. RBI picked up in the third inning by Rios on a double, and then the ball game tied up in the top of the ninth by Canerco with a homer. Santos worked an inning and gave up one hit. Sale worked an inning, gave up a walk. 2 runs, 1 earned, charge to the starter Jackson.
Number 1 draft choice pick by the Mariners, and then he had Tommy John surgery. Seems like most people go through that.
That'll be fouled off for a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Looks like that got the camera.
Close.
Yeah.
Right underneath it. 2-2 to Matt Wieters. Wieters sitting at 244 on the season. The Orioles need 1 to win it. We're in the bottom of the ninth. And the 2-2. Thornton continues doing what he does most of the time, striking out hitters.
That's some high cheese right there.
I want to remind you, our next broadcast coming up. Game 1 of the 3-game set tomorrow night against the Indians. Jake Arrieta on the mound against Justin Masterson. Coverage on MASN at 6:30 O's Extra, presented by your local Ford dealer, followed by game coverage at 7 and MASN HD. All the access you need right here on MASN. That one popped up third base by his Turris, and maybe in the seats. It is. Turris has struck out, grounded out twice. And Albers in the bullpen. Orioles victory, and they have a 3-1 series win against the White Sox and a 6-1 homestand with a win. Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way as Turris again fisted back.
Well, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be your bullpen against theirs. And well, the one thing, Thornton 6'7", so he throws downhill the best of them. Jenks puts his 6'5". Jenks is 6'4". Gavin Floyd, who started the other night, 6'6".
Fastball and just missed outside.
Yeah.
You don't want to be having any kind of a bench clearing brawl with this team.
Yeah.
Or a basketball
game. Pick up basketball games,
yeah.
right. But that's what, I mean, Thornton's so impressive. Not only does he throw 97, but he spots the ball well, too. Brings it up when he wants to. He got Matt Wieters on a fastball up and in.
Yeah, he could have played anything he wants. You played basketball, didn't you? You played basketball at LSU?
Yes, I actually went to LSU on a basketball scholarship.
Yeah, because I remember when Dick Vitale said you were a little soft on the offensive board.
Of course, he was kidding about that, but I knew when I got over there. I knew when I got over there that when the boys could dribble it faster than I could run, that I was probably going to be playing baseball.
2 down in the ninth inning, 2 Ks by Thornton.
Yeah, talk about spotting that fastball. That's 97 on the block right there. And, of course, no chance for his Tours. All you can do is look at that.
So Josh Bell, 0 for 3 in the ball game, 1 for 13 in the 4-game set. 2 down, ninth inning, game tied. And that is taken for a strike from Thornton.
That's pretty crisp. And it's right to the glove.
It sounds crisp from here.
Well, I mean, you just follow the glove of Krasinski. You made a great point about him being able to spot it outside corner. Missed, but it's in the neighborhood.
Vitale said I was soft, really?
Well, he was trying to get you going in spring training. I remember that.
I
just wanted to
don't take that, Ben.
No, well, we're going to go. You're going to have to go put an alligator in Vitale's.
Yeah, I'll get him.
Next spring in Sarasota.
Of course, you got to remember I was 6'6", about $190, and went over there, LSU to play outside, forward on the wing. I could shoot it a little bit, but got over there, and some of the guys didn't make their grade, so they stuck me inside, and was guarding Will Purdue and people like that in the SEC. And that wasn't a whole lot of fun. They were pushing me around like a rag doll down there.
And he got him. So Thornton comes on and strikes out the side. More free baseball coming your way. Game tied 2-2. The O's that came in that 6th inning and the only error in the ball game. Gonzalez will stay on. He had a walk, a strikeout, and a fielder's choice. 3 batters faced in the 9th. Now he goes to the top of the order. Pierre, Ramirez, and Rios. And we are in the 10th. Bell in at third base, and the pitch will be taken by Pierre away. Orioles have gone 9-3 in extra inning ball games. The White Sox are 3-5. 1-0 pitch, Juan Pierre. He drew a hit batter when he got hit in the 3rd for a run on a double by Rios. He also has singled, 16-game hit streak now.
Yeah, so Mike Gonzalez, his job to get him out. 4 righties that you won't pinch hit for coming up. That's why Albers is getting ready. I would imagine he won't, even though he did get 5 outs the other day. Again, coming off the fatigue shoulder that set him back for 3.5 months. Get this guy out and let Albers come in and do the rest.
1-2 delivery. Pierre's actually hit better against the lefties a bit. 279, 261 against righties. 2-ball, 2-strike count on him. JJ puts in the bullpen. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and that's going to be in the hole. So a 2-hit ball game for him as he leads off the 10th inning with a single.
Well, that may change things because you may not want to bring Albers in because of the ability to run. Maybe you keep Gonzalez in because you can keep him closer at first.
Right.
And they're probably going to give you an out here.
Ramirez checking to see if the bunt sign is on. He has 4 sacrifices on the year.
Well, Ozzie did it the last time. Runner on first, nobody out.
You got Rios and then Konerko coming up. He squares early.
Yep.
Did he go?
Yes, he did.
Check it first. No.
Well, he did bunt. Brian O'Nora didn't think so. But Charlie Lau, the great hitting instructor Charlie, was here when I got there, and he said he always felt, even though we were taught, I throw the high fastball, that the toughest pitch to bunt is the good breaking ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get the bat head above the ball.
Major League's leading stolen base artist at first base. There's the bunt down to first. And a late break here, and just in time. Wigginton started and then stopped. But got there in time to get it over a sacrifice.
Yeah, if you watch Mike Gonzalez, he falls over towards third base, so he's not going to get to this ball. Watch this windup. Way over here, so now it's a long way to go. I mean, here's your Brian Roberts effect. He is there. Makes it look pretty easy.
That will be it for Gonzalez. Michael Gonzalez will come out of the ball game. A runner on at second base, 1 away in the 10th inning. Rios coming up to hit and Albers to pitch to him.
options here, I suppose. You could walk Rios to get to Konerko and set up a double play. Not a lot of at-bats, the White Sox off of Matt Albers. Rios 0 for 1. And Quentin 1 for 2. He's a couple of hitters down. And then Konerko 1 for 3.
Rios an RBI double in the third inning. He's 1 for 4 in the ball game. Always a threat to steal Juan Pierre at second base, and Roberts has got to play over there because he'll take off for third if he can get the jump. A 1-0 count for Albers this season against the right-handers, hitting .234 off him. Left-handers .308. Matt is now 4th in the American League in relief innings pitched. 1-0 delivery, chopped foul as he came in on him.
Yeah, we saw Albers the other night. I mean, possesses that good hard sinker like you mentioned, Jim, and he can throw it 93, 94 miles an hour. Take a look at this pitch right here. There's that two-seamer. See it just barreling inside on Rios.
Of course, if he takes it, it's a ball, but he can be pretty aggressive. Always has been.
1 ball, 1 strike. And Rios trying to get one inside, doesn't connect. 1-2.
And right there at 91, Bennett actually sinks more than it does when it's a couple miles per hour faster. I mean, look at the side-to-side downward. Able to get on top of that one. So it sinks.
Yeah, you can see it. I mean, just perfect placement down the zone, and like you said, a lot of sink and movement going right back in there again.
Wow. Albers gets the strikeout.
Well, nice move by Matt Wieters. And again, a lot of times you just move to the glove. You encourage the umpire to call it.
Yeah.
Might have been an inch or so off the plate.
Well, what helped, he swung at that same pitch, the pitch before that, so umpire thinks it's a strike. It looks it's a couple inches inside, but again, you're hitting the glove, executing the pitch. Good things are happening.
Konerko's the man who made it possible to have free baseball as he delivered the home run in the 9th inning, his 28th of the year, that would tie the ball game up, and he'll draw the intentional pass, the second intentional pass he's had in the game. And it'll be Pierzynski coming up with runners on at first and second, and well, would have been runners on at first and second, and there are 2 away. And we are going to get pinch hitter, or we're going to get Quentin, coming up. Pierzynski to follow. And there is ball 4. So Konerko intentionally walked after this in the 9th.
Yeah, first pitch ties it up.
First pitch off Simone, left middle in. Konerko making up for a mistake in the field.
So the dangerous Carlos Quentin stands in. He has had a couple of walks in the ball game, popped out, struck out. Only 1 hit, a home run in this series. He is 1 for 14. Now hitting at .230 in the year, but those 22 homers and 70 RBIs. There goes Pierre. He'll go to third on a stolen base.
Yeah, but when you get guys on base, it just seems like he's able to focus better, almost 90 points higher. Well over 300.
Well, if he keeps making that pitch, that same pitch he made to Rios, that's nasty. Going right back in there, looks like.
Here's the 0-1 delivery and fouls it off.
There's not a whole lot you can do with that. I mean, that's 94 with some good sink and just placed perfectly.
It's when you're coaching kids, and I know because you do girls softball and all that, but when you get a pitcher that's able to do this, you go, what does this feel like?
Yeah.
Because you want to remember, and whether you're Little League, Pony League, Babe Ruth, whatever, big league.
2 strike count, 2 down. Runners first and third. Quentin will take it.
Just misses on the inside corner, but what a pitch. 0-2. 4 or 5 inches inside, but look at the sink and the movement on that ball right there.
Albers with a 1-2 delivery, and Quentin will roll it down to third base. Bell had trouble getting it out of the glove, and got him! As Wigginton again makes the pick, as Quentin went somersaulting over first base. And that saves the potential go-ahead run. The play at first by Wigginton.
middle 90s with a splitter and a sharp slider.
Yeah, and very good control. Only 8 walks, 46 strikeouts on the year.
Putz will come on, and the Orioles here in the bottom of the 10th will try and win it at the top of the order. Thornton worked an inning and struck out the side in the bottom of the 9th. Roberts, Markakis, and Wigginton are due up against J.J. Putz. Putz with a 176 opponent batting average, 5th best among relievers. His ERA of 1.74 is 7th best among relief pitchers in the league.
Yeah, it would put a lot of pressure on him and the whole defense if Brian Roberts was able to get on.
Roberts will take it, and ball 1. He has walked, struck out twice, and flied out. Roberts 1 for 6, lifetime off J.J. Putz. We're in the bottom half of the 10th inning. Orioles about hit the White Sox 7-6. Ball game is tied.
Get out of
Way
here.
back. Goodbye. Home run. Orioles win it. 3-2. Brian Roberts.
Take a look right here. Again, you got to throw him a strike. This is what he did last year when he was healthy. 16th, career high of 18. And he said, I sure hope I don't go the whole year without hitting a home run. He didn't.
I mean, he didn't just hit it. He hit it way out. But like you said, he got the count in his favor, looked fastball and got it. Of course, Putz did not make a good pitch. That ball's belt high right down the middle of the plate. And Roberts didn't miss it.
So Albers will get the win. He will go 4-3. J.J. Putz will take the loss. He is 5-3, and the Orioles have taken the series 3 games to 1 and a 6-1 stand. That will send them off to Cleveland for tomorrow night. Jake Arrieta against Justin Masterson. Those excerpt presented by your local Ford dealer at 6:30 on Masson. Game coverage at 7 on Masson HD. For Jim Palmer, Ben McDonald, I'm Theo Harris. I'm Gary Thorne. We bid you adieu. A great ending as the Orioles come away with a walk-off 3-2. This has been a Masson presentation.